beautiful people. Good evening. Welcome back to our channel. Hi, guys. Welcome, Obodo fam. I hope everybody's good. What's up? What's good? Hope we are all doing well today. Thank you very much for joining me on tonight's broadcast. Today is the 13th day of October, the year of our Lord 2022. Thank you, everybody. If you are just joining us, please, as you come into the studio, there's a like button on YouTube, not in the comment section, but on YouTube. Quickly give it a thumbs up as you are coming in. Thank you so much to all my returning subscribers. Thanks to everybody. I appreciate you guys so much. All those who support me on Patreon, I really, really love and appreciate you. May God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. So I have quite a lot to cover tonight. Those of you on social media, whatever social media platform you use, I'm sure you've seen this story. But I'm going to look at this from a different angle tonight. So rather than just tell the story, I would go through the story because I don't want to assume that everybody knows what we're talking about, especially those of you who are not Nigerians. You may not be familiar with the story. I haven't heard about this couple before. Today or yesterday, let me say yesterday. Yesterday was the first time I ever heard about them. And, I couldn't get my head around it. Today, I was trying to look more into them, to do a bit of background check or research about them just to know a little bit about who they are. And I want to thank everybody who is on the WhatsApp group. Our UK WhatsApp group is really, really bubbling, it's active, and people are really sharing information. I love it. Thank you to all our sisters and everyone on that group. Thank you so much. Please, a lot of people are sending message to add them. I can't at the moment get to that because there's just so much going on. Right. So I got to know a little bit more about this couple tonight, and from the information that was shared in the group and also what I picked up on social media, I got to know a little bit about this couple. So they are called Bimbo and Ikechukwu Ogbonna. So I want to assume that the woman she's a Yoruba woman, I think. That's Bimbo, except maybe she's an Igbo person that answers that name, but I think she's a Yoruba girl, a Yoruba woman. And the guy is an Igbo gentleman, right? These are the two of them. Very young, really, really young. And their relationship is what we want to talk about tonight. It's a marriage that has lasted apparently for 19 long years. But actually, it's a marriage that probably should not have even happened in the first place, or a marriage that should have ended maybe about 15 or 18 years ago, to be honest. It should have ended a long time ago. And I'm going to look at this show tonight from the angle of why women don't leave marriages. Why is it so hard for women to leave marriages that they know it doesn't serve them? They know that if they don't leave due to the issues, that it's likely they are going to live in a body bag someday. So that's the angle I want to look at this. I want us to look at this show from. There's a lot involved, so much involved. Like I said, I don't know too much about them, so I really appreciate when I share my link, those who know more about them to share more light about this situation. But the little I gathered, I will share with you. But first of all, before I talk about Bimbo, I'm going to start with Ikechukwu, right? Because I did see a very interesting article that talked about Ikechukwu, and that's what I want to share with you first of all. That's him there. I'm not sure how old he is, but it seems, I think he's a young man. He doesn't look like he's even someone that, if he's 40, he will probably be in his early 40s. He's a young man, as you can see. So I'm taking this from Opera News. And the article, it strikes me the way the person who posted it titled it. And that's why I want to share it with you guys. And because I want us to get a very a holistic I want us to look at it from different angles. So I'm going to talk about Bimbo in a minute, but let's talk about Ikechukwu first. And the Opera News said, meet a young Igbo billionaire who is the owner of IVD Automobile. This was a year ago, right? IVD Automobile. A lot of people may not know his name, but his name is actually Ikechukwu, right? That's his first name. And they said, meet a young billionaire who is the owner of IVD Motors. He owns the company. And then he went on to talk about how it is not easy for a person to have such a massive automobile business in Nigeria. Before you can own this kind of business, you must be worth millions of naira. I'm going somewhere, guys, so just follow me. And then they went on to share some pictures of Ikechukwu. That's him. I think he's posting with some of the cars that he sells. That's him there. That's one car there you can see. This is another one picture he took. I think this is a Mercedes. This looks like a Mercedes. Yeah, that's him. And that's him again. Yeah, with another car. Yeah. And it's a whole lot of cars posing. And this is another one. Another car. I'm not sure which one this one is. Maybe it's this one they call G-Wagon. I don't know. That's him there. And this is him here as well with different cars. I'm giving you this outlook because I'm going to talk about his background so that you will understand where they are coming from and where they are now. Yeah? What was this one called? I can't remember the name of this one. There's a name for this car. It's a Mercedes something, but I can't remember. It starts with a B. The B is in front of it. Who knows cars? Luxury cars. Yeah, they're all luxury cars. I can't remember the name of this one. We are the car lovers in the house. Does anybody know the name of this car? I can't remember. It's not a Bentley. No, it's not Bentley. It's a Mercedes. Anyway, let me carry on. Brabus, yes, thank you. If you got it, it's a Brabus. Yeah, that's the name it's called. It's Mercedes. Okay, so this is another one. And this is a whole range. I think this looks like his home. This is a Range Rover. And the other one there, even though I don't see the front, I suspect is one of those Toyota Highlanders. Yeah. So you can see Mercedes. That's another flashy car there. So many cars. This one looks like a Toyota. Yeah, so many flashy cars. Yeah, that's Ikechukwu. And I don't understand what this article was all about. All I can see is him showing his cars, and this is his business, right? Okay, from the pictures, the summary of the article at the end, what they wrote there is that from the pictures that was shared above, you can clearly see that Ikechukwu Dari Ogbonna posing with some of his cars that he sells. So I don't know, maybe it's just to show the cars that he sells. If that was, I don't know what the article was all about, but there's a reason why I'm showing you that. I will come to it in a minute. I'm showing you that because I want to talk about how they started. And I'm going to read something that was posted by Bimbo. Okay. A little bit of background, like I said, 19 years of marriage. She got together with him. They were both young, and she was only 15 when she got together. So this is a marriage of love and passion. Love, serious love, endless love. I no see you. I no fit eat. I no fit drip. I no fit sleep. I no fit chop. That's that kind of love that we're talking about. Yeah. It was a very, very loved up situation. As a matter of fact, some of the things that people shared with me on social media today, and I thank you all of you that are always trying to keep me in the loop. She got together with him when she was only 15, and the mother was against the relationship. The mother said, no, you can't marry this young man for whatever reason. I don't know why. The mother said, no, don't marry him. She was pregnant at 15. Because I see a lot of people on social media today now blaming the mother. How can you allow your daughter who is 15 years old to have a baby for a man when she herself is only 15 years? She's a child. How can you allow her get together with a man at 15? So basically, and you can see what I put on the screen. This is my appeal tonight to parents. If you are a parent here, you are watching this, please. I'm begging you in the name of God Almighty. Whatever God that you serve, whatever religion you belong to, I am using the name of that person that you used to pray to beg you tonight. Teach your daughters, and I'm not saying this to only mothers alone, fathers as well. Please teach your daughters not to put their dreams, their goals, and their aspirations on hold because of marriage. You get why, oh? And the why is what we're going to unpick tonight. And that's why I'm not even going to dwell on, how toxic this marriage was, because it's too much. I was listening to it on our last channel, Man of Prestige, this morning. To be honest, I was traumatized. It's too much. I'm going to save you people some of that trauma by not talking about the nitty-gritty of it. I will just, pick some things to share with you. This was, you see how the story of Romeo and Juliet, when people use Romeo and Juliet as an example of love that was so deep, you think is a good kind of, no, their story didn't end well. It's not a story that ended well. So that is the kind of relationship that Bimbo and Ikechukwu had. It was a very toxic relationship, toxic marriage. At 15, she got pregnant. And the mother said, no, you can't marry this guy. And said, no, if it's because of this pregnancy you want to marry this guy, then you're not going to have this baby. Make we make sure, say, we seal that road so that if you marry her, so that if you not born this speaking, go marry her. Abi? For where, children now, they have their own way. Somebody said it on one of my videos that there's a saying in Jamaica that you can have a child and do everything you can to save them, to protect them, because or maybe you've seen signs of what is ahead. Oh, Ola, you are triggered, right? Okay. I just listened to some of it from your channel this morning when I was working. I was working from home, so I just had it on the corner and I was listening. It's too much. I'm not gonna. There's no need. No, it's too much. It's just too much. Name it. Anything you can think of is there. So there's something that led to what happened to this couple yesterday. There's no smoke without fire, right? Okay. So at 15, the mother said, no, you can't marry this guy, yo. Oh yeah. Carry and go hospital. I don't know what he do, whether in hospital you carry and go, where you carry and go. He said, born this weekend. A month later, after the mother said you cannot marry Ikechukwu, if it's because of this baby, then Bimbo got pregnant again, no, after 1 month. I think you can read between the lines what I'm not saying, ba. The pikin when he's saying one born, say because of the pikin, if he born the pikin, maybe the parents, because the parents were kicking against it, say, now some young people, when they are madly in love like that, they think, oh, my parents won't allow me to marry, especially if they are rebellious like that their parents are against the marriage. They say, okay, make I just born. Make I just born. I can't use that word here, BU, unfortunately, because of the platform where we are. And this is not a debate about whether we believe in it or not. I'm telling a story. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not saying whether what the mom did is right or wrong. People have reasons for which they do things. And sometimes, looking back now, what the mom did, whether you believe in what her action that she took or not, it was justified. If only Bimbo listened. Because the same marriage that she fought so hard to marry this guy is what we don't even know how she is. Now here she's in ICU. Some people said earlier on that she's deleted already. I heard several people saying she's deleted. But we don't know yet. It's critical. Let me just put it that way now, because we've not gotten confirmation yet. All right? I hear she's in ICU. Some people say she don't delete. but we've not gone confirmation. The next few days we will know. But she didn't listen to her mother. She got pregnant a month after. In our place, they say what a child, an adult sees sitting down. A child that climbs a tree cannot see it. A child that climbs a tree cannot see what an adult sitting down will see. Because adults, especially your parents, and that's why we're talking about parental influence, parental, power, parental, the power that God has given parents over their children is so powerful. Sometimes it's almost like they can see the future. I'm telling you, it's almost like they can see the future. They keep talking, but some children will never listen. We see it now. We are parents now. Now we are dealing with, raising children now, and sometimes they think they know it all. Children always think they know it all. So Bimbo no listen, no. And she said with her own mouth. So let me read some part of what she said there. I'm not going to read everything because it's quite a lot. So the cocoa that you need to know about this situation is that the marriage has been off and on and is being toxic. So 2 years ago, she finally came out. She's been crying out on social media. She's been saying things on her status. The people that are on her WhatsApp status, they say some things she's been saying. She's basically been saying things. They say her family tried their best. Her sister tried, the mom tried, but this babe no gree come out. As a matter of fact, she left 2 years ago. But they reconciled publicly after she called him out on social media, where she was basically doing a live stream. That's to tell you the level that this girl got herself to, mentally and emotionally. She was broken. She even said that she's lost her mind, that she's not her mind now, that in fact she was calling on social services to come and take her children, that she's not fit again to take her children because of what she's been through in this marriage. And I'm just thinking about this situation and thinking about the children in this environment, what they've been through, and everything. My people, now so. Right, so she wrote, let me read. Bimbo writes, it was the sister that called Ikechukwu out. Dearest husband, it's been an amazing 19 years of being with you. I remember when I met you. It's almost like a Cinderella story. Okay, this is Bimbo's words, right? I'm not sure if she posted it or her sister posted it, but this is definitely her words. It was love at first sight, an ordinary street child who had dreams to fulfill. I left my father's house to join you on the streets and teach you and guide you on how to get to the top. Even when my parents refused this, I went out of my way and became pregnant with my first child. And it was only then that my father agreed and gave me to you. A wedding, he actually paid all the bills because I was the favorite child. I was only but a child in my youth. My best years, I have to freely without my second thoughts. I never knew I was heading for the worst, in caps. I would have, she said, I wouldn't give details of what I went through, the pain that I went through. For almost 90 years, I struggled with all of this, passing through each day with such burden in my heart. I had to deal with your friends and then your baby mama. So there's a baby mama in the picture. Your mother and women that you had dealings with. I met you without a penny. This was a union that was constantly funded by my father, my sister, and her husband, my brother, and then my mom, who is particularly your superhero. My mom gave us her first car to use for years when we had no cars to cover our shame. A union that my own sweats, effort, tears, strength, money, and existence. But gradually, I began to sink deep in. I raised you, I helped you to get to the top, forgetting to even raise myself. Make una listen, oh. Forgetting to even raise myself. I was thinking that if you got to the top, you will give me a helping hand up. Man, I was so wrong. Money and fame made you worse. I remember when I first got the email that took my soul away. For months, I couldn't sleep. My head began to fail me. Couple of times, I've done things that I'm not proud of. But it didn't change you. I did so many things as a crowd for help, but nothing fazed you. You became even worse. Little did I know that God was preparing me for the best. I paused my entire life for 19 years for you to rise, stayed home to raise our children. I was only a child myself. Then anxiety and PTSD became. I began to self-isolate. I did not want to see sunlight. Not until my friends who could hear my pain in silence sent a therapist to come and get me, to come and save me. And she went on to say, tell the world how you have never supported or encouraged me for a day. For your children's sake, I wouldn't go into these shocking details, but I have come to you in open. I filed for a divorce, something you have dragged and delayed. Honestly, I don't want to go to court. I don't want to put my children through such trauma, but this is what I want. I have been with you for 19 years, but I want my pound of flesh. And allow me my freedom and peace. I don't quite know what she meant by I want my pound of flesh, because I listened to a video where she was also shouting, you have to give me my pound of flesh, you have to give me my pound of... I don't know what she meant by that. Maybe she meant that they built the business together, because let me backtrack and tell you that I heard that the money that started this so-called automobile business was from Yahoo Yahoo. And this Bimbo was actively participating in the Yahoo. Maybe that's what she said. I remember when I got the first email that took my soul away. So maybe she was asking for some money. Maybe what she meant, what I'm suspecting is that she's talking about the money from the business, because this is her life. We're going to come to the reasons why, she stayed, because a lot of people are saying, why did she stay? Why did she stay? Maybe because of the money. So they actually built a business together, a life together. If you say your younger sister is doing exactly what this girl is doing, wow. You need to send her this video. Right. Let me quickly read it. Tell the world how you have never supported and encouraged me for one day. For your children's sake, I won't go into the shocking detail, but I've come. Okay, I read this one. Right. Honestly, I don't want to go to court. I don't want to put my children through so much trauma, but this is what I want. Yeah. I want my pound of flesh and I want my peace and freedom. I really need to be in a safe place to focus on my life, my business, and my children. I've forgiven from my heart everything you did to me, but I can't continue to do this to myself. I choose not to move from the very spot again. I want to say a very big thank you to my family and friends who have supported and stood by me and helped me to get on my feet again. I owe my journey of success to God and to you all. Ireo. That was a message she posted 2 years ago. But then again, we're in Nigeria. Uzo, you say it shall not be her portion. Uzo, my darling. Let's not be using that quote. People use it in Nigeria to say it's not my portion, it's not my portion. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, it's their portion because they don't do what they are supposed to do so that it will not be their portion. You can't keep doing the same thing and you expect a different outcome. It's not possible. Mm-mm. If you keep doing the same thing, you will get the same exact outcome. So for us to say that it's not going to be anybody's portion, then you need to do things differently. And I'm going to come to the reason behind all this, because it's not about, blaming the victim because she's a victim survivor if she's alive to tell her story after this one, because we don't know. She's in ICU, they said. Some people say she's been deleted. My people, it is deep, very, very deep. In Nigeria, I keep telling you guys that non-Nigerians here all the time what marriage means to an average Nigerian woman. Marriage is not just to have children, or because you are in love with someone, or because somebody has money to take care of you. No, it is status. Let me say it in American English. It's status. There is a lot of discrimination for women that are not in marriage, and women that have left marriages, especially if you're a single mother. The society looks down on you. So it is easy for us to say, but why didn't she leave now? Why didn't she leave now? She could have left. But have we made it easier for women to leave? What do we say to the ones that are left? Do we not shame them? Do we not embarrass them? Do we not troll them? Do we not call them name ashawo? Isn't that what they call them? Do people not manipulate them? Do landlord rent house to single ladies in Nigeria? In some areas in Nigeria, nobody will rent a house for you once you are single. They will tell you, go and bring your husband. If you don't have a husband, I can't rent my house to you. I'm saying that Bimbo is a product of her society. So it is easy for people to say, but why did she stay? Why couldn't she leave? Because we are all, as a human being, what makes you is your nurturing, your environment, nature and nurture. That's it. It's simple. So this was love that was, hey, it was love that was, I don't know if I can even call this love, because this could not be love. No, we know what love is, and I'm going to share with you what love is in a minute. Let me carry on quickly, because I have quite a lot. Today we are talking about why you should never go back. Once you leave, even if it's once you manage to leave, because statistically we know that a lot of women will leave up to 5 times before they can finally leave for good. But I want to impress on you today the danger of going back to a toxic marriage. Yes. Don't forget that she did not just get together with this guy as a young, very young teenage girl. This is her life. This man is her project. This man is her career. This marriage is everything she has lived for. So how can something that you labor for all your life, the thought of it not working, especially if they told you not to go? I told you so is waiting for you. You'll be thinking, and they told me not to go. They will say, I told you so. That alone will say, no, my marriage has to work. So like I was saying, there are always people in Nigeria that want to bring you back. They want to bring you back to your abuser. They are standard. They're everywhere. They're in your family. They're amongst your friends. They're in your church. They're in your asalatu. They're everywhere in the community. In Adugbo, if you're ever renting a house, landlord will come and tell you, your children. I understand she has 5 children. They will always bring you. So after everything that happened 2 years ago, when this girl cried out on social media and said, no, I can't take it anymore. This is too much. This is where it is heading now. They brought her back. Let me show you the video. And this is where I want to focus on this tonight. Going back. They brought her back. You are not going anywhere. This is your house. The devil is a liar. We reject, we condemn, we bind. We love you. We love you. We love you. You are here to stay. You are here to stay. We love you. We love you. We love you. You are here to stay. You are here to stay. Abimbola Ogbonna. You are here to stay. Do you know who posted the video when they reconciled? No, because the guy has some sort of public, he's known on some circles in Nigeria, in Lagos, and because he's known on social media. When they reconciled, do you know who posted it? Because she had gone to social media to write everything. The sister, everybody was posting everything online. When this so-called "you are here to stay" happened, that these women brought her back to the house and say, "You are here to stay, Abimbola Ogbonna. We love you. We love you. We love you. You are here to stay." These women will sleep tonight, though. Will they be able to sleep? We love you. We love you. We love anybody that actively participates in a thing like this. If anything happens to that woman, God will judge you. God will judge you if you know. Not that you don't know. You know. You've seen it. And you keep thinking that she's here to stay. Let her stay because of children. Let her stay because you want to keep marriage together by all means, even a marriage that has broken. And the people both inside are broken. You've not done any work, oh. Obviously, Ikechukwu has serious anger management issues. We're going to talk about that. He's a womanizer. Allegedly, she said it by herself, baby mama involved when money came. So I gave you the picture of his background so that you can understand. I gave you that picture about where he is now so that when I talk about how they started, you can understand. This was a marriage that started on nothing, marrying for love. We love each other. Love will kill me and die. Now that kind of love that they do. Women are always looking for love. Love, 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 love. Incidentally, I keep looking back and thinking, why is it that women are always looking for love? Meanwhile, the Bible never says anything in the Bible that we should look for love when we want to marry. A pastor explained it and said that it's because love comes to women naturally. That's why he put that burden on men. Neka, he said, Ikechukwu needs to rot in here. They say he's jackpot. I hear he's jackpot. Somebody told me on social media this evening that Ikechukwu has jao. He's jackpot. So, let me just run through some of the things I told you guys. I told you I don't want to traumatize you this evening. Oh, somebody knows Ikechukwu here. Ruth's kitchen said, Ike is a beast. We'll grow up together and see you later. His anger is not here. I knew he has anger management issue. Do you know why I know? So a brief chronicle of what happened in the marriage in the 19 years. So he has serious anger. Make I digress now for pidgin English because of this environment where we did. He constantly sends her to hospital. He sends her to hospital constantly. Not to go and have baby, not to go and do treatment for what he's inflicted on her that he sent her to hospital. 6 times she's gone to hospital. That is the one that we know. And guess what happened before that? You are here to stay that you are hearing. Those women, they should be locked up if anything happened to Bimbo. All of them in that video. They should arrest them for aiding and abetting. Honestly, until people start going to jail in Nigeria, this thing will not end. I'm telling you, enforcement is what we need. It's always women. Oh, did you see any man there? It's women. It's always women. We do it to ourselves, women. Because to them now, if you leave your marriage, then we cannot be friends again. If we were friends before and we are both married women, once you are divorced, how can the friendship continue? My husband will not want me to befriend somebody that is a divorcee now, so that you go and teach me how to leave my husband. This is their thinking. These women, they claim to be exposed. They claim to be intelligent women, professional women, but their brain, when it comes to marriage, is stuck in the 60s and 50s. It's in the cave era. That's where their brain is. All these women. That's the average Nigerian woman for you. Some women in Nigeria, once you are divorced, they start avoiding you. You call them, they will not pick. They'll start distancing themselves. Next thing they'll tell you, yeah, my husband doesn't want us to be friends anymore. They isolate you. Being divorced has no consequences for a man, but for a woman, it's like a plague. It's like you've done something that is an abomination. So, one time, Ikechukwu sent her to hospital. Do you know what? She was pregnant. 8 months pregnancy. 8 months. This monster sent a pregnant wife where get belle, where carry your own pikin for belle. He sent and go hospital. They had to do cesarean section, emergency cesarean section for her to deliver that baby. She was admitted. They didn't even know whether she would survive it. She did. She's a strong woman, right? It was after that all these auntie Sonu, all of them gathered together and came and said, you're not going anywhere. We love you. We love you. You're not going anywhere. A pregnant woman. Guys, think about it. If she was your sister, she was your daughter as a man. Even me, where I not be man here. I don't tell you now the story of my sister. And so when stories like this happen, it triggers me. You see, it does trigger me. I'm not going to lie. Let me put my hands up and tell you it does. That's why when I was watching Ola's show today on Man of Prestige and I started hearing the nitty gritty of what happened, I said, no. I made a decision that, okay, I'm going to do this video, but I'm not going to talk about so much of what happened. One time in the middle of the night at 11 o'clock, he sent Bimbo and her children out. I even heard that one time, again in the night, he pushed her out of the car. Then he will come and beg. So somebody said they know her. A man that has this kind of anger management problem that he cannot see that his mighty ego to go and fight men like him to go and engage them. He doesn't know that he can become the next Mike Tyson. He doesn't know that he can become a professional boxer or professional Muhammad Ali. But it's women that he uses to sample his power. Okay, Ruthis, we like to always hear from people who know people. Ruthie said Ike was the type that believed that a woman was nobody and no woman should speak back to him. Even his family siblings feared him. Okay. So I heard that once upon the last time they had that big quarrel where Bimbo was pregnant, that she had a misunderstanding with Ike's brother, right? And instead of taking side with his wife or separating them and staying neutral, brothers, please learn this tonight. If you have in-laws, this happens quite a lot in Nigeria, where you are thrown into an argument or a misunderstanding between your wife and your siblings. As a man, if you cannot be a man to say, okay, look at it objectively, stay neutral. Don't support your family against your wife. Your wife is your family. The day you understand that when you leave to go and marry, it's your wife that is your family now, not your brother, not your sister, because your brother is going to marry his own wife. Your sister is going to go to her own husband's house. I think Pastor K explained this very well on one video that he said, your wife is your family. Your mother is not your family. Your uncles, yes, they are still part of your family, but your main family is your wife. What? You are two, but one. Because you are joined together in holy matrimony. So, brothers, please, if you cannot send that your brother away or send that family member, never ever take the side of your family against your wife. Even if she's wrong, call her inside the house and tell her, my dear, this thing you did, I don't like it. Or now, sometimes you have to behave like this. Talk to her privately. Because the minute you begin to take sides against your wife, in the presence of your extended family or your siblings, your marriage is broken already. So you disrespected your wife. Now they know that they can do anything to her. So that incident that happened when Bimbo was 8 months pregnant, it was a misunderstanding between Bimbo and Ikechukwu's brother. Temilade, thank you. Your wife is you. As a woman, your husband is you. 1 plus 1 equals 1. That is what marriage is. But our African people, our Nigerians, okay. So reconciliation by force happened, and she now. It didn't happen with some work done, no, that Ikechukwu has to get some counseling, no, to manage his anger. If somebody who knows him from growing up on the same street can tell us about his anger issues. So you can imagine a woman that lives with him, he cheats. There was a video where Bimbo was confronting him, like I said. She had her camera on live. You imagine how you can put women that always like to, you know how we do now? Women, you know us, we love marriage. And we always like to keep the part of our marriage that is not sweet. We keep it private. We don't want people to know. For a woman to start streaming on Instagram live when she's confronting her husband, that tells you that there's something seriously broken in her. Is a cry out for help, and it's like, okay, I reach this point of no return. So let me kuku do it this way. They didn't ask Ikechukwu to go and do anger management too. No counseling, no nothing that we know of or that I've read of or that anybody has said to me. So, what are we talking about? They brought her back 2 years later. What happened now? The final matter that happened now. Remember they won Bimbo? Her mother won her. I'm sure the mother saw these anger issues that Ikechukwu has. They grew up in the same adubo, the same area. Yes. Yes, Eunice, you saw that Pastor Shola's. Yeah, he's not lying, no. He's not lying. This is how single mothers are treated in Nigeria. So, they brought her back. Yesterday, what happened? Is yesterday the incident happened, though. They started another argument again. Even with all the money, the cars, and everything. You can take the boy from the village, but you cannot take the village away from the boy. They started argument again. Wahala started again. Basbo starts. Next thing, this time around, Bimbo, the children are in the house, oh, they sleep, oh. But I think at this point now, Bimbo, send again. You know when you gone to that point of no return where you say, today, me and you, okay, we go meet Jesus today. We are going to meet Jesus today. What did she do? He carried, I don't know whether he planned her before, whether it was premeditated or it's something. In Nigeria, they have generator and things like that. So they always have things that are inflammable around the house anyway. But there was a fire. Children were sleeping. They started jumping into the pool. He was able to escape with little or no burns. My people, Bimbo was not so lucky. Yeah, she had reached her breaking point, boss lady. She was not so lucky. She jumped into the pool, but she was not so lucky. They took her to 3 different hospitals, I heard. Nigerian hospital, they will take you to a private hospital. The hospital will reject the person. That also, it needs to be unlawful. I don't want to talk about Nigeria tonight because I dey vex. How do you claim to be a hospital and they bring a patient and you reject the patient? So they took her to 3 different hospitals. They were driving her around. They were rejecting her until they finally got to the one that they took her. So we don't know what is happening now with Bimbo, but whether she's alive, but they say she's in ICU. But all I can tell you, very, with all clarity, because I saw it, and I'm not going to show you the images, like I said, it's not necessary. We don't need to see it. Is that it's critical, and she is burnt severely. So that's where we are. So somebody was asking in the group why even women who are empowered, because we had a discussion, very interesting discussion about why do women, Nigerian women, why do you go back? You know your life is at risk. This guy obviously has mental health, or he's demented in some way, or he's crazy, or he's got serious anger issues that he's not willing to deal with. It was always like that. But you see, women, when we're in love, we overlook a lot of things. We know they see clearly. The person that sang that song and said, "Loving eyes never sees." It's very true. When you love somebody, you don't see their faults, you don't see anything. You see, they are all, I mean, the person is such a, you see them as an angel. The sun and moon and stars will be shining from their head. So we're having that conversation about why. Why did she not leave? Or why did she agree to come back after everything she's been through? This was a woman that was telling Nigeria, she was posting, it says, social services, come and take my children. My mental state is not balanced anymore. I can't look after these children anymore. But they took her back and said, "You've got nowhere to go. We love you. We love you." Culture is a culture. A woman is expected to be married. When you get to a certain point in life, once you are 26, the pressure starts. 26 and 30. If you are 30 in Nigeria, you are not married. Ha! Then the pressure is real. They have social services in Nigeria, yeah. Ifi, yeah, in Lagos State, they do. They do. Lagos is quite advanced than most states in Nigeria. Even those other states that you think other states like my state, they do have social services in all states in Nigeria. You'll be surprised. It's just that they are not functional because they don't fund them. That's why people read social work in Nigeria. People go to study social work in Nigerian universities. It's a degree course. It's the shaming, discrimination of single parents. That's why they never leave. And when they leave, they are persuaded to come back. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, lack of resources. A lot of women, I actually put this to a friend of mine today in Nigeria, and she told me wholeheartedly, she said, "Brie, Nigerian women, some of them who stay in this sort of marriages, if they are empowered financially, they have their own resources, they have money, or there is something they call child support, like you have it in your obodooyinbo, a lot of them will work, but they cannot." In most divorces in Nigeria, when you leave the man, you have to leave the children. Some women don't want to leave their children behind because they'll be like, "Okay, what have I been suffering from then? What have I been suffering from? Why did I suffer all these years and taking all this? It's because of my children. It's because of my children." So they will not leave their children. The pressure from family and friends and religious institutions to keep the family together, by all means, at all costs, whatever it takes, just stay there. Just stay there. Yes, Ajibala. Social services all over the country. Yeah. People don't know. No. If you left Nigeria a long time ago. No, there are social services in Nigeria. The fear of what people will say. Rejection by others. I'm listing the reasons why people like women like Bimbo will stay. Oh, I hope you are getting it. There's a lot of rejection. Where will I start from? What will people say? I am doing it for the children. I want my children to grow up in a two-parent household. Single parents are stigmatized. Can I raise boys by myself? I hear that teenage boys, they need a man in their life. They need a male figure in their life. Who will help me? 5 children. Yeah, these are some of the issues. Yeah, Amati, I know there's even child support law in Nigeria. People don't just know. Nigerians are the least people to use the law. There is child support in Nigeria, even according to the Nigerian constitution, but a lot of people don't know. Because even to go and take a lawyer to go to court, self, do you know what it means to go and take lawyer? Yeah. I'm doing it for my children. There's a lack of willpower. Okay, this one I will elaborate because when people are going through DV, I've spoken to people, and like I said, they get to a level that they feel they are so vulnerable. You do not understand the level of vulnerability. I'm telling you. I mean, when I talk to some women, even on this our show, that call me and tell me what they are going through, I need the grace of God for me to be calm and not to get upset with them. Sometimes I want to yell at them and shout at them, are you okay? I'll give you a quick example. A woman called me 2 weeks ago. I don't even know how she got me. It was just one of those days. I was on the phone was ringing, I just picked it. She relocated from Finland or wherever, one of these Scandinavian country, to come to the UK with her husband after she was qualified as a nurse there. She came to the UK. She can't get a job as a nurse because she needs to qualify or whatever. I don't know what she said. She needs to do some exams or something. And she said since he got here, it's been one problem or the other. She cannot work. So I said, what happened? Why can't you work? She said, I have to work at night, but it makes it impossible. He said he doesn't want me to work at night, and he comes home very late. The time I'm supposed to leave, I'm not supposed. The children are still young. They have 2 children. I said, okay. There's always a solution. Why can't you work during the day? She said, I don't want to work in the day. Feel. I said, no, 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 no. You have options. Look at your options critically. Women, stop making yourself feel very vulnerable like this. Use your brain. I started explaining to her, say, okay, you are working as a carer now because you are trying to do your nursing exam to qualify to work as a nurse here. I've forgotten the country she told me she came from. I don't think they're in the EU because if you're in the EU, I don't think you need to do any qualifying exam here. Anyway, I told her you're working as a carer. Go and register in a care agency, work as a carer when your children are in school. As a domiciliary care worker, you can do hours, like even if it's 6 hours a day, you can do. Start in the morning. Once you drop your children in school, go. It's not what I want to do now. I say, are you serious? Oh, he doesn't want me to go back. That I've been going back and forth to go and work. It took the grace of God for me not to scream and yell at this woman because I understand what it means for people to be vulnerable. Some women, their esteem is already low. The only thing that boosts their esteem is marriage. So if you tell them to do anything outside that marriage or outside that relationship, it's like you are tearing their marriage apart. I said, can you get work if you go back to that country as a nurse? She said, yes, 2 days she'll get work. So I said, so what's the problem? She said, she's just waiting. She talked plenty story. I said, oh my God. I am asking God for strength. I say, oh my God, you mean you quit on yourself to come here? Now you're not working together as a team. He's the only one that is working. He's not supporting you to work. So if you want to buy Maggie, you gotta meet him. You want to buy onions, you gotta meet him. And he's cheating on top. Now you are experiencing some emotional abuse. And you are still second guessing yourself and asking yourself questions whether you should go back to where you come from. Can you take your children and go and you get work? You say, yeah, but some of you, you can't do it. You can't. If somebody like that calls you, you go begin abuse them. You tell her say you only you pay. You go cuss and where. But I try to put myself in their position. I try to look at it, not as this me, Brie, what I see, not the way I would act or the things I would do, but putting myself in that position of that woman. What is her background? What's her experience? What's her lived experience? How, what is her strength mentally? I see these women, some of them, you'll be questioning whether they are okay. The things they will be saying from their mouth, are you okay? You'll be wondering, "Babe, are you normal?" Like Mr. Macaroni will say, are you normal? The kind of things that they will be saying, it will take the grace of God for you not to get upset with them. So this work is not for everybody. Not everybody has the grace to do it. It takes a lot of patience. So I told her, I said, no, you have options. I started counseling her. I said, there are options. Call him, tell him, this is how you feel. You want to work. You are a nurse, for goodness sake. You went to school to study nursing. Why are you at home doing housewife? He said, okay, Auntie B, thank you. Okay, I will look at it. Maybe I will start first and be doing that one you say. Before later, I will not think whether I will go back to that country. It is deep, my dear. Some women are so mentally and emotionally suppressed. They are so beaten, and they are so I don't even know the word to use to describe how they feel mentally and emotionally. They cannot think like me and you. They can't. Yeah. Williams, you are right. Some of them are like that by nature. Yeah. You see all those ones that, always need people to think for them. They are like that. So the list is endless, my people. Stigma. If we want people like a Bimbola who we don't know what's going to happen to her tomorrow, now I pray to God Almighty today. I'm sending her heavenly intervention that God should restore her life so that she can be there for her children. If we remove stigma in our society, we stop all the nonsense that people say about single mothers. We stop laughing at people who are unmarried. Then maybe some of them will develop the backbone to say, okay, yeah, maybe they will have some esteem to say, okay, I can be something outside this marriage. I tell you categorically why Bimbo did not leave. It's not because of the money. A lot of people were saying it's because of the money. No, it's not because of the money. This marriage is her life, it's her investment. This is all the university she did not go. This is all the work she did not do. This is everything she has labored for all her life. Remember, they told her not to get into it, right? Her mother especially told her, don't marry him. So, how can you give up on something that you built all your life to become a laughing stock? And men like this in Nigeria walk away without looking back. Even if you take the children, you manage to take the children. I don't need to talk plenty story. FFK is a typical example of Mongo Park. FFK. What did FFK do? He took the children away from that young lady and stopped her from seeing him. Even when the court, she still has small support. She went to court. And the court ruled that she should be given visitation rights. FFK did not allow it. The last I heard now is that they are back together. I don't know whether it's true or not, but this is to tell you the level of which Mongo Parks will go. It is deep, oh, and that's why I don't always like blaming the victim, because it's deep. Yeah, it's a project for life, like you said. It's a project for life. This Mongo Park was a project for life. Do not ever teach your daughters, never ever put your life on hold because of marriage. Marriage is not a career. Marriage is not a business. Marriage is not an achievement. Oh, marriage is a blessing. If you find the right one, it's a blessing. And before I start adding people, I'm sharing my link in this comment section. People are still asking how to join the show. Just come to the chat, you will see the link and you can join. So we can talk very quickly. I've spoken for almost 1 hour because I did have quite a lot to cover. I'm glad I'm able to cover a lot of it. The last one I want to talk about briefly, you are the first person on the studio, I'll take you first, is I want to talk about love. Women that know how to love. We sabi love. What is love? All this love one they do. Say I love. Some of my friends from Nigeria go tell me, say me, I know they love. Say I know sabi love. I say, I know sabi love. Now me say sabi love because my own love they see rude. All those blind love, I don't do them when I be teenager, when I be small, young adult now. Which kind love? Which kind love? Which love? What does love mean to the average woman? And this is for you women, no. Those of you who are Christians in the house, I need to remind you what love means. First Corinthians told us, 13, in case you've not read your Bible for a while. Love is patient, it is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. How can I even send that verse to Ikechukwu? Not easily angered. So if you say you love someone and you're sending them to hospital every day for basbos, what kind of love is that? All of you that are collecting slap, you say, but he loves me. But she loves me. It is not easily anger. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices with the truth. Love always protects. Somebody that doesn't protect you and you claim they love you, they don't protect you, they expose you to their family, to anything. They will not defend you. Love protects. This is what the Bible tells us. It always trusts. You are with someone with trust issue, you say, "Hey, it's love. It's love." It always hopes, it always preserves. Love never fails. So I don't know, all of you women that like love, your own kind of love that you're looking for, I don't know. Maybe it's a made in Nigeria kind of love. I don't know. I don't know. Love is good. I'm not gonna lie, love is good, but all that kind of mumu love, may we never see it in Jesus' name. The kind that Bimbo did. Ah, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ ká rírú ẹ̀ lágbára Jésù. Uzo, welcome, my darling. Please unmute yourself. What do you have to say?
Hello, Auntie B. Good evening. I just wanted to say what the message I actually sent. I was actually responding to Ify when Ify said her sister was going through that, and that her sister had refused to leave the situation. So I was saying to Ify that even if you send this video to your sister, she's going to say, God forbid, it's not her portion. So that's what I meant by the "it's not her portion" part that I had written. That would be
Okay.
Ify's sister's response. Secondly,
Okay.
there were people in the comment section that says love is wicked. No, love is not wicked. And thank you for giving for quoting that scripture, First Corinthians, that spoke about love, because I was actually going to speak to that side. That's not love. When people like us will talk, they say we are too aggressive or are too assertive, this and that. But if you love yourself, you're not going to take all this nonsense, because it's nonsense, from any man, just because you want to be in a marriage situation. But I just keep wondering, while I empathize with her, Auntie B, all the stories have made me desensitized, so sometimes I'm just like, because we keep hearing these things. And I mean, look at Big Brother Nigeria. I don't know if you got to watch that show. This is like the
No,
same thing.
never. No, I don't watch it.
Oh,
No.
I actually did, keep up. And there are these two couples in this kind of situation, abusive, toxic relationship. But you see, Nigerians, leave them. They feel, let them marry. He's not abusive. He's not this. He's not that. Even his girlfriend in the UK came to say this is what happened. But still, Nigerians like, oh no, she's just trying to, But that's Nigeria. Nigerians are Nigeria for you as a whole. What I want to say in conclusion is this, okay? Until we begin to shame the culture of shame, things
Yeah.
will not get better.
Mhm.
Things will not
Say
get
it
better
again.
until
Shame
you
the culture of
of
shame.
shame. Things will not get better until you begin to shame the culture of shame. Things will not get better. And Nigerians are always ashamed, like, oh, what will people say? This, that single mother, this one, that one, whatever you are, own it with your full chest. Single mother, own it. Divorcee, own it. Whatever it is, I don't know. That's why, like I said, I'm just desensitized from all these things. And because it's every day we're saying the same thing, and these women, there are many of them on this call, they won't listen. There's some that will listen, there's some that wouldn't listen. They'll say, oh, you should be in your own husband's house, this one, that one. But that's it. We'll always keep coming here to tell stories like this, because trust me, Auntie B, it is not going to change. But what I don't
No,
understand,
no,
like,
as
how
you're
did you have
talking
five
now,
children?
let me
Yes.
tell you something, Uzo. As you're talking now, me and you were having this conversation. After I set this show up, another one has happened again in Nigeria, in Ogun
Yeah,
State.
that's it. They don't always listen. And to be also want to say something, you can't be coming all the time. You do these shows and then people are calling you on your cell. You're taking these calls. You have to start charging them. Before you
I'm
take
telling
calls,
you,
you
I'm
have to,
telling
because
you,
you
I've
cannot
been
be
saying I
talking,
will charge them
your
for
mouth
God
will be
knows how
paying,
long.
saliva will dry. You
I'm
have to
telling
start,
you.
you do this show, it's enough. If they're calling you on the phone, they should be paying a fee. Because yes, because you cannot be talking and then people are not listening and still doing nonsense. And we're telling the same stories all the time. So people will say I'm too harsh or anything. But how come we can't keep saying the same thing? We can't keep hammering on these issues. But what I don't understand is, how did she have five children? You're in such a toxic marriage with such a toxic person, and you had five children. You put five children in that situation. I don't know. I don't know. If someone can educate us on why, women who are in toxic marriages still go on to have one, two, three, four, five, six, and more children. I just want to know because I don't know. I don't know. I'm speechless. So that's what I want to say. I don't want to take too much time so that people will come and share their own thoughts with us. But just like I said, Auntie, if you just take my advice, you can't come and do this show and then be listening and
I'm
be giving
telling
free advice.
you, you are
You need
so
to start
right,
charging
Uzo.
them.
They don't pay. Oh. They want to talk to me
Yeah.
free of charge. Oh. They do not
No,
pay. If I
you
tell me
have
to
to.
go and meet people that charge them, they will run. They don't
Yes,
pay.
you have to stop saying no. You have to stop doing that. You have to stop doing
Hmm.
that. Maybe I might sound too harsh, but I mean, you can't come
No,
on
you
this
are
show,
right.
you talk
So
for
you are
three
not. You are
hours,
right. Time is
and then
money. This is Obodoyibo. We
yes,
work by the
you
hour. They
can't be
pay us
doing
by the
that.
hour. You come and talk to me. You want to talk to me for 1 hour for free,
And
and
then
I'll
you
be
give advice,
listening
and then
to you.
they
Be
don't even
dumping
take the
on me. People
advice.
don't understand how heavy this stuff
So
is, Uzo.
yeah, you have to put
It
your
is.
foot ground,
There's a
your
lot of
foot down.
heavy stuff. I know a lot of my subscribers who used to watch my videos before we started doing this DV stuff that don't watch anymore. They say they send me messages and they say, Auntie B, please, I can't. It's too heavy for me. I say, I understand.
Yeah, that's
It's
why
a
you have
lot
to
of
learn to
dumping.
desensitize.
They tell you things
Yes.
that even you, if you were having a good day before, your day will spoil. Your
Will
mind,
be
your
so,
mood will
yeah,
change.
that's why I said I had to learn to desensitize, because we're seeing these stories all the time. Marriage is not a do or die affair. It's not a do or die affair. But if you get a good person and people are ready to make it work, don't go and be collecting bits. They'll tell you shut up, you shut up. They'll be disrespecting you and everything because you married husband. Me, I mean, but please, I don't. There's some things that I will never ever take. It's not mouth, it's not anything, and I've always been like this. Maybe that's why I also did not marry early, because I was too much for me, for these guys. Until the person that has sense came to marry me, I've always been like this. You cannot be taking nonsense. Please, Auntie B, let me go because
And you know the
this
good
thing
thing.
is getting to me.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, my darling. I appreciate that you found the one who, treats you well, and appreciates the fact that you have a loving marriage. Let me tell you something. This stuff is not easy. Mm? Hmm. It is not an easy thing at all. It is not. Somebody is saying something about parents. Anto say parents never allow your kids to marry a guy just because you got pregnant, no matter the pregnancy. Please stand your ground and allow your daughter to have a career and trade and or a life. You can't put it on parents. So me, I'm a parent now. Nobody can put anything on me. As far as we know, Bimbo's mother did everything she can or that she could at that time, but she was insistent on marrying Ikechukwu. What can you do? Don't put it on parents. Oh, the mother even, she was rebellious that she wanted to marry him, and you see, it's the rebellion that's why she cannot leave, because they told her not to. You know, when they tell you not to do something and you do it with agidi, now the shame of your parents being right will not allow you to leave, because you will make your parents right. It's a confirmation that they were right from the beginning, which is all right. To err is human. You can make mistakes. My own problem is that don't die in your mistake. You made a mistake, yes. Your parents said it. You did it anyway. Go back home. That is the story of the prodigal son. He went back home, and the father took him back. And I'm telling you that if Bimbo had gone back, the parents would take her back. But shame, shame. We need to start shaming the culture of shame. That's what Uzo said. And that's deep. Thank you very much, my darling Uzo. You always bring it 100%. You know what? Don't be apologetic. Do not be apologetic for how you are, because it is what you permit. That is what you will get to you. If you start doing mumu mumu mumu, say okay, so that I can catch husband. Go, the one that is yours. Should be with all your assertiveness and everything. You still got the man that loves you the way you are. Le baton. Ify, my darling, how are you?
Hello, Auntie B. Can you hear me? How are you
Yes, my
today?
darling. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to be very brief because I know this is a very interesting topic. There are over 1,256 people watching, and I'm sure at least 10% of those people want to talk. First off, when I heard about this story yesterday,
Mm.
fortunately for me, I have a friend who lives in the UK, and she's always telling me, "Oh, have you heard one one thing that has happened in
She's a
Nigeria.
social media. She's a social media junkie.
And you know what? She apologizes before she brings the story. She said, I know that you're a nerd and these kind of stories are not interesting to you. I'm like, what? It's interesting. Tell me, tell me. So she told me about this. And the first thing that I thought about was, the effect of the society on women who have very low self-esteem. And I have a younger sister who is just like Bimbo. And I remember once I started hearing this story, I was like, my goodness, I heard about how the parents paid for the wedding. My sister is married to a Yoruba demon. I'm an Igbo girl. My younger sister is married to a Yoruba demon, and Yoruba demon are men, and I'm not generalizing. I love Yoruba people. They are men who are lazy. Lazy men are called Yoruba demon. Yoruba Mongo Park.
No, cheaters. They also cheat.
They
Demon,
also,
hey, that thing has plenty. It's not only lazy. They are
no.
lazy. They
Uh-huh.
cheat.
Uh-huh.
They love to have women who will provide for them. They like the
Uh-huh.
soft life without having to work, lift their finger. They are just useless.
Okay. I visited Nigeria recently and I realized that the husband, my sister's husband, looks fresher and younger than she is. And there's a part of me that feels sorry for her, but there's a part of me that doesn't. I mean, we literally paid for the wedding, and every time it's like somebody's sending euros and I'm sending dollars, and some other people are sending dollars from different part of the world to rent them a fine house in Lagos to set them
Why
up for them.
why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Well, I mean, when you have a younger sister who will call and say, hey, you people should help us, or we want to rent house, or we want to do this. I mean, you see a sister who is like crying. What do you expect? I mean, you want to donate and
I
do things and
understand.
all of
I
that.
understand,
But,
but
but
sometimes,
yeah.
if people, I
So
understand.
when I heard this girl story, I was like, this story is looking like sounding like this my sister's story. And you know what? This guy has hit her at least twice. And these are the people who will call you and say, I'm even tired of this marriage self. I want to leave. I'm leaving today. And if you say, okay, carry load and leave now, they will say no. That brings me to my second point. It is, I don't know how to put this, before I don't want YouTube wahala. But I feel like some of these girls, it's a mix of
In pidgin or
in
Yoruba,
pidgin.
I'll translate it. Say it in Yoruba if you
Some
can.
of these girls, not because they're too like prick. I'm sorry to say.
They like bola.
They like bola. Well. And I'm gonna say
Ify,
that because I
thank you
was
for
trying to look.
breaking the tension.
Yeah, it's a combination of low self-esteem and the love of bola, over their own lives and over the lives of their children. They would prioritize bola and their low self-esteem. We don't chop them finish. That's what they
That's
put
all the
on.
bola sweet. So it isn't because of the bola.
Oh, it is bola is definitely part of the equation. I'm just telling you. And some of these women, they'll be like, why would I go and start up with another bola? Let me just quickly delete on this bola now. I mean, it's just this one bola.
Bola full everywhere now today.
But
Sure.
now the fact say they don't adapt to that bola and they don't want to go start and some of them they not fit do without bola. It
Really?
is an addiction. People talk about low self-esteem. I think it's a mix of everything. And I'm saying this because of what I've observed from my own sister. And Uzo was right when she said, if I show this video to her, she say, blood of Jesus. That Uzo knows. They don't watch videos like this. And when they
They
do,
watch.
you see them pleading the blood of Jesus.
Why are they wasting the blood of Jesus now? That's not fair.
Yeah.
They should leave the blood of Jesus for those who need it. Let me ask you this,
Yes.
Ify. Bio
Yeah.
said that you were talking about Yoruba demons,
Yeah.
that they are not lazy. They spend time in the gym. They spend time growing hair, and they know what women lust after. Your brother-in-law, does he spend time in the gym and all that?
Yeah, he's well built. And I remember, I think they had a fight about a month ago where she was saying, oh, you're cheating on me. And, she nearly, deleted herself there and crying, holding his shirt. And, I had the gist. And I told her something. I said, the reason why you're locking his shirt and fighting him is because you have invested your life on this guy. You have no other life. If this guy tell you, say, he won't come out today, now be say you don't, not
You
the way
don't
you won't hold on.
finish. You are
You don't
done.
finish.
And let me
Yes,
tell you something. Behind your back, Ify, she's your younger sister, right?
of course.
You are
She
older and you are
is.
not married. To her
I
now,
am I am
she's better
older
than you.
for her mind though. But you
For
know
her
one
mind
thing.
now, now she achieved more than you.
No,
That has a doctorate. Oh, now she don't achieve past you. So because of that, Yoruba demon when they live with you, and do they have children?
of course they do. They have. I mean,
If they call home, if
I
they
love.
come home today now, I was thinking about something today. Sorry, Ify.
Yeah, no.
I need to say this. I was thinking about home, the way Nigerian women used to say, my home, my home. I started thinking, if you don't get husband and children, does it mean that your house is not a home? What is house, home, home, home? Because Nigerian women have a way of saying, my home, my home. So if there's no husband or there's no
No
wife and
home.
there's no
That
children,
means there's no home, right?
there's no home. The
you,
kind
you
things
know,
one
you
of
know,
my
Auntie
they
B,
think about.
it is a mixture of active and passive societal persecution of single
Mhm.
people. And I remember that I was telling my friend yesterday, my friend from the UK, who told me about this story, because she's a social media junkie. She's been following this girl for God knows when, and she was like, every time she would come and cry on internet. I was like, who is this girl? So she started giving me some background gist. But the truth is, the societal pressure is active and it's passive. The passive ones are usually from maybe relatives who don't know Jack, and then you talk about the active ones like churches and things like that. I mean, I grew up in Yoruba land. I was born and raised in Lagos, and there's this my friend called Buki. There was this second relationship that didn't work out while I was doing my master's. And I remember I told her that, hey, it didn't work out. She was like, mo magbe, oh my God, oh, she. I said, what happened? She said, it did not work out. Yeah, yeah. You go think say somebody died.
Somebody
Even
said,
me, even me, what the thing happen to? I don't move on with my life. But you see, imagine,
even you, they cry for you, say you not marry.
yeah, they
Say the
have
thing didn't work out because they don't plan your wedding already. If you don't know,
exactly. Maybe she had
they've
planned the
already
wedding
taken a
behind
shot
me.
before your wedding. You don't
He
know.
was lamenting, and I was like, "Wait, kilo shele, kilo de." She was like, Ọlọ́run wá tètè ṣe o." Oh my, and I thought I've cut her off because the reason why is because I know that she calls me up sometimes, and then she'll be like, "When are you going to get married?" And I told her, I said, "The next time you call me and ask me that question again, I'm going to not only hang up on you, I'm going to ask you how better your life is than mine."
Is
You're
she
married,
married?
yes. She's married. I said, "Tell me how better your life is than mine. Tell me."
Mhm.
Because you see, I said, the next time you call me, I'm going to ask you to
That's
break it down
I,
and
I
tell me.
if you let me tell you something, that is the mind of an average Nigerian woman that I was painting. To her, marriage is the ultimate. As a
Exactly.
woman, whatever you achieve,
There's
whatever
nothing.
you've done, solve the problem of this world, find a cure for cancer. It doesn't matter as long as you're not married.
And to be, I spent 3 years working on cancer probes for my master's. Anybody who goes on Google can see all the publications that I've done on trying to find a cure for something that could lead close to cancer. Right now, I'm working on genomics, trying to make the world a better place. And when single women allow some people who have something to prove by just proving the fact that they can get married and have kids to come and tell them where they belong, I mean, what's the point of even getting
You,
an
you
education
know
in the
now that
first
the
place?
vice president of the United States of America is a woman.
She is.
No, she
She
needs to
is.
know that the woman can become a black woman for that matter, or whatever. Can
Exactly.
become a mixed woman can become a vice president of the the first one.
The first
Ask
one
her,
ever.
what have you done with your life
Although she's not
apart from
popular.
marriage?
Yeah, although she's not popular here, people don't like her that much. But we're
No, it
happy.
doesn't matter. It's about attaining. The point is whether no, it's not the politics we are talking about. We are
Yeah.
talking about what you
Our
can
achievements,
become
right?
as a
Yeah.
woman. Yeah.
Yeah. Auntie B, I remember I was watching the Nigerian national honors, and I said, see, if there's a good president that cares about the people, if they ever give me that honor, I'll take it if the person is.
Amanda didn't take it. Oh,
Yes,
she didn't
now
take it. She
I
rejected
trust
it.
that girl. I like that. That's exactly what I will do. I don't care about honors, and that's why nobody. I don't even like to talk about my achievements or whatever it is that I've done. But Auntie B, these people who persecute single women, they're everywhere, even on this platform. I remember one of those comments I saw where somebody made a comment. I said, "Hey, women," I can't remember that topic, but somebody made a comment. I said, "Don't listen to Dr. Ifyo. Hey, you people will just be single for the rest of your life." Somebody made that comment, and
It's not everybody that Amoye always tells people this. Not everybody will marry. If you
exactly.
know this, you will know peace. Some people, their calling is not marriage.
And the
And
point
that
I'm
is
trying to
okay.
make
If
here.
they are okay with it, you that this is not your life, why is it a problem for you?
Exactly. Like mind
Like
your
that your friend that you call off now. Because you
see,
are obviously
I did.
very,
I
very
did.
accomplished young woman. You
Auntie
are
B, and you know
fine
what's
as
funny?
hell. And you are
Auntie,
happy with your life. Why is it a problem for that your friend in Lagos?
you know what's funny for this kind matter? Eh? This na person we go call you when your mama want to birthday. When the husband of him, papa of him husband, Peme, he go call you, say, I beg, go, won't go do party for Ekiti. I don't see money. If you beg, help me, you do it here.
Your
So you
husband
do
don't get
husband
money.
house.
You don't tell her to go meet your husband.
You,
Your
you,
achievement.
you day husband house, they come beg me. We be single woman.
They
Say, make
beg
I
single
give you.
woman for money. Show.
And I send that money, but I can't look same
Ah,
man.
if you fall my hand.
How many? I don't stop, Auntie B. I don't stop. How many party money I go pay?
Don't
But you
take
did
money
have a
from
house.
a married woman. How can you be giving married you that's a single woman? How can you be giving married woman?
You did
A
beg me
married woman
money.
supposed to be giving you now. You're supposed to call Lagos and say, you know now.
Oh
You
my
are married
goodness.
now. As a
But
married
Auntie B,
woman, please,
I
can you
don't
send
cut
me
them
some
off.
dollars?
I don't cut them off because I had to do that. It was important that I did that. And number one, I ended up asking her that question. I said, "Come, you wait." They ask me every year. Say, "I beg now when you go marry, how your life take better?" But I asked her that question, and I'm sure that didn't sit well with her. But I had to cut them off. I want to encourage whether you're married or single on this platform. It is important for you to love yourself. I think Bimbo had nothing to fall back on. Bimbo had no career. Bimbo had nothing at all. I mean, this kind of woman will be say, I don't know whether yahoo he and the husband do where they get all those cars.
Now, Yahoo not be saying, now, what people talk for social media with that.
Eh,
I read it. She said participate. They said I collect some of the money. And she
the
said it
money.
too in one of the stories I read to you that she said when she sent one email, now then she for lose her soul.
And so
Oh
okay.
yeah, the money,
So
the money that funded the business is from Yahoo.
Well, out of all those money where then she not fit find small where she go do something where go make her life
No, now her
busy.
project be Ikechukwu now. Now
Now
Ikechukwu is the one.
project.
Didn't you hear what she said? That I thought that if you get to the top, you will lift me up.
Hey, now wow. Say they
Oh,
wait for person
you
to
didn't
lift
hear
her
me
up.
reading it? Oh,
He
I
be
read
like,
it.
he be like, I read, I listened to some of those stuffs that you read, and I just wonder how someone will come to a point. I tell you, Auntie B, see, it's a societal thing. And just like Uzo said, until you begin to shame the shame culture, this will not end. And you know what I did with my friend or with my childhood friend? I shamed the shame culture that she was trying to bring to me. I asked her, hey, how better is your life than me? You still beg me for money. You still beg me for money. So this, you see, now two things they make these girls, some of them will be like this Bimbo. Now that low self-esteem and that bola. Now the combination of those two things, that they
You
put
know, I
girls.
never thought about that Bola one before.
Now bola addiction, oh, Auntie B. Now
Honestly, I've
some
never
of these
thought
girls,
about it.
make I tell you, some of these girls,
Regular Bola,
if
attendance of
somebody,
regular Bola.
Auntie B, I dey tell you, if somebody never touched some of these girls for 2 weeks, if you see as their body go they shake,
Their body
I
go
feel
they make
like
gree.
I feel like God gave some people grace, and some people don't have that grace. I am not judging them, but some people don't have that grace, Auntie B. That's what I always think about. Like,
And just because you are single doesn't mean that you are not getting Bola if you want. As a matter of fact, as single people, they get Bola pass if you want it. If this is what you want, you are not inclined in a certain way.
Exactly. I mean, for
Some
me,
married
I have
people, they 2 years, they never get Bola. 6 months, they don't see Bola. Not today.
now some people will not just get that grace, and when you see them like this, they always go back. Of course, there's so many factors that contribute to going back. It's like going back to one's vomit, for crying out loud. But it's a lot of factors, Auntie B. Those are friends where they sing, "We love you." Now love be that one. Then love them.
Like, may
Then
I give them back of my hand? Honestly, if I look those women, chai, how
They're
would
not.
they sleep tonight
I,
now?
I,
And you
I
see,
think they made them not
those
see
kind of
sleep.
people, they know they get mind. They are heartless. You know, go bother them now. That Bimbo they ICU, life support. Now in the ICU, I don't go ICU before I know what it is. Anybody where they there now life support now you did.
Egbe, I want local. Me. Auntie B. This is your
Married
program.
woman.
It's just bringing out the Lagos in me. I don't. Of course, I remember to sound very, American and sophisticated when I want to, but I like the way your show brings out the Yorubaness in me. It's like there are some things there's some messages I can't pass across except I speak Yoruba. But of all things, I hope that this girl is well. I hope she comes out of this. By the time where her body don't burn, reach as it burn, I don't know the degree of burns where she gets.
Hey, it's bad. It's bad.
So now we say that kind of where we say she go look mirror finish contact say
Oh no. It's not good. It's not looking good. If I've seen the real picture of what she looks like. It's not good.
My goodness.
It's not good.
I pray she makes it out alive, and I pray she makes it out alive so that girls go learn from and girls go learn to love themselves. Say you dey husband house, not mean say you not like yourself. You must like yourself, even on top of say you get husband. That husband now icing on the cake he be.
Thank you.
On the cake. icing on the cake. I wish her well. I wish her kids. I don't even know. Look at those innocent children jumping in the pool. My goodness, the fact that those kids had to jump inside the pool to save their lives.
Yeah, because both parents, they've lost their mind. Most of them, Ikechukwu and Bimbo, they've lost their mind, and they should not be together because they are not good for each other. They are not good for each other.
Yeah, this is very toxic. I tell you, this is toxicity at its height. This is it. And you know what? For those who have ears, let them listen. Me, Auntie B, it got to a point I had to wash my hands off my sister's case. And I thought to myself, I pray every day. I say, God, whatever will make her delete, don't let it happen to her. Let her learn a lesson without deleting. Let her learn a lesson without getting harmed. There are some people you have to love from afar. There are some people you have to pray for from afar. And I'm sure when this girl was shouting and saying, oh my goodness, let social services come and take this person, our sisters and mama, they don't talk tired. Did she not hear? They don't beg, I'm tired. The same thing with my sister. You will call, you beg these people, they will not listen. They will not hear until they see something. They'll come learn lesson. So, I just wish her well. And I pray that the kids are safe wherever they are. That's how people will keep churning out damaged human beings into the society. What do they expect the kids to grow up to be? When the father don't japa, the mama don't something don't happen to him. Those kids go grow up with very sickening memories. They'll come grow up, they beat their own children too. They fight their own wife with them put for house. What do they want people to turn into? These people just come and they just procreate without thinking about what are we procreating for.
They don't care. No, they don't care. They're selfish people, very selfish.
That's bola enjoyment. Where they enjoy bola finish, them born picking, they'll come, they live anyhow. The children will come, they learn what they're not supposed to learn from their parents. This is despicable. This is horrible. And, I just wish those children well. For me, the children are the biggest victim. And I pray that they everything is well with them and that somebody takes care of them. Somebody who is not, we're not the crazy like their parents. Will put them under their wings and just take care of those children. Auntie B, let me go so that other people can talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ify, darling. Love you. Appreciate you, my darling. It is well with you. Please don't give up on your sister. Don't. I know exactly where you stand. I know I've been there. But the only difference is that I was younger than my sister. I was really, really way younger than her. She was years older than me. So I didn't even know anything. I was just a skinny, winny little girl who just finished secondary school. I didn't know anything. It is well. I hope that, she will understand one day that Yoruba demon that she's worshipping and looking for money to pay house rent for will always be a Yoruba demon. People don't change except they've done the work and they have the self-actualization. They actually realize that there is a need. Because for you to change, you have to believe that the way you are, there's something wrong with the way you are behaving before you can even think of, okay, how can I change? When you think you are right, how are you going to change? Change to what now? Thank you so much. Hello, Ify. I appreciate you. Uncle Ade in the building. Hello, Uncle Ade. Good evening, sir.
Sister B, how are you, my sister?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm just walking in from work, and I just turn on
that's so nice of you.
Yeah. I said, listen, and I mean, I didn't listen to the very beginning of the topic, but I said I have to jump into because I see what people are talking about. And I'm talking from my own point of view. The last time we have a conversation, these women will have to understand from the societal pressure and the societal culture. Because I believe in my own mother. You cannot blame my mother having 7 of us and going through mental difficulties while going through this thing. You cannot blame her because that's the pressure the society put for them. Because when I talk to my mom, you know what she said to them? Why is it that?
Yeah. Why is this unfortunately, a lot of our mothers, that's what they used to say.
Exactly.
Tori omo.
Why? Exactly. And that's what I look at it like. Why is it that? So even the society, even today, women, many of them are educated, many of them, but what the pressure of they facing through our culture does not allow them the free thinking that this is not good for me. Because I tell you what, especially within my people, I mean, I don't want people to come out and correct me if I'm wrong. As long they have no physical evidence on you, Sister B. No matter what you're going through, they will blame you as a woman. They will say you are the cause of it. You are the cause of the problem. They don't see anything wrong.
Even when they see it, they will tell you to
no, they will tell you, even you see our churches, you see our religious institution, they will advise you, oh, you did this thing. Wow, if you leave, you know, this is what is going to happen to you. You know what is this going to happen to your children? Another woman will take your children away with all those kind of excuses to make this woman going through a mental difficulty. Because this is what I look at it as a man. And I'm saying this, maybe I'm wrong. When we look at what we do as men in this world, do we look at the consequences we create on our partner or our wife? Or what do we think we are creating for the next generation?
Amen.
Because when you go through certain things with what you say you love somebody, are you creating a difficult situation for? I mean, Sister B, I want to know what is love in the essence of our culture. What is, because to me, if I say I love you, Sister B, I won't do anything bad. I won't hurt you, period. I will make sure to alleviate your pain. But in our society, they will say they love, but I don't see that affectionate love that they show. Because all these things that we're talking about, this lady, she's going through a emotional something, but for us, to me, it's like we cannot judge her. Why can't she get up and go? The society will shame her. They will condemn her. She will be the scorn of the society. Ori, you know, that kind of thing. And they say it in a silent way that makes the woman the bad one. And that's the thing. And then even to the point that, and that's what I'm thinking to this our society. When a child is good, it's very common in the Yoruba language.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's the father.
It's the father's child. When a child is bad,
why?
It's your child.
That man,
It's your child.
Doesn't have to. That's what it is.
No,
she reproduced that child herself. She did her job, right? She did. So there's a lot of things that we need. And to me, I'm able to study here, and I'm able to, get the feelings of women. Especially when I told you the last time, the most powerful being on this planet is women. Women are the cradle of nature, anyone like it or not. Why don't we give them that respect, that accolade, that feelings that in any relationship, you're going to have good and bad. But what it is that you do, because I'm not an expert, but I'm talking from wisdom of what I know that works in a relationship that is good for both couples, both human beings. Because when you have a healthy relationship, you are creating a better generation, Sister B. This is what I'm telling all men listening today. If you, as a man, wake up in the morning that I want to create a healthy environment with my wife or with my partner, you are creating another generation, because a child looks at you and see how you love. And the man must realize the first love of a child is from a woman. It's not a man at all. It's not a man. Don't make that mistake. You can be a good father. You can be the father that I say, I will lay my life for you. You are not equivalent to a woman, please. I say this loud and clear. You are not equivalent to a woman.
Really appreciate you, Uncle.
Yes, know the fact that this is significant, that in anything that this lady, we cannot, like you say, we don't judge people on this platform, but we have to learn from her own, because to me, sometimes it's a mistake, sometimes it's not. Because I tell you what, when I was young in my 20s, my mother was out with she's telling me, don't marry her, but in your head as a young man, now she's good for me. But today, when I look back to what my mother says, Sister B, that woman, that young lady never conceived. And I look back today and say, wow, if I have married her, I would have been in that crisis. So I
Our
look at
parents
it.
always know.
Sometimes
This is what I'm
parents see,
saying. I'm not saying
yes,
they're always right, but
they're not always,
especially
yes, but you
parents
have
that
to think for yourself.
are
Yeah.
spiritually inclined, they always know. They
Yes,
have a way
look,
of
as a
knowing.
parent, that's what I'm like you said, as a parent, we have to guide our children. Like somebody said, oh, we are responsible for the choice of our children. No, we are not responsible, Sister B. Our
Yeah.
children are
No,
responsible for their
I'm a
choice.
parent of grown kids, so no, I'm not taking
Yes,
that
yeah,
responsibility.
exactly. I'm a
Whatever
good
decision they
job.
make, I've done my best with them. They have their
That's
own
it.
choices to make.
Yes,
When they become
exactly. And
adults,
that's
they make their own
especially
choices. What can you do?
in this
When
part
you
of the
have children
world.
that are adults, you will understand. What can
Yes,
you
in this
do?
part of the
You've done
world.
everything by the book, but they
Yeah.
will make their own choices. I do not hold Bimbo's parents responsible for this in any way, shape,
No,
or form.
absolutely not.
No,
They're not responsible.
no,
It's
they are
their
not.
choice.
She chose her bed and she's
That's
lying
it.
on it now, but I don't judge
Exactly.
her.
The only
Yeah,
thing that I tell
unfortunately.
parents is you just have to be, you have to guide. You have to guide them. You have to, give advice. But you cannot, and the moment that's true, because I remember with too much culture in my head, my wife pulled me back. My youngest son was like, he was 18, I was like, no, you're too young. My wife told me, say, Mike, can you slow down? Because you pushing your child away. Don't make that mistake. Love your child first, and then
Yeah.
see through him. What is
No,
it? Just
love
guide him,
children,
advise
kids.
him.
No, they are busy fighting. No.
That's busy fighting. So that's
Thank
the
you,
what it
Uncle Ade.
is, Sister
Really
B.
appreciate you, my uncle.
Thank
God
you,
bless
Sister
you,
B. And
sir.
I want to say something to follow up. Do you remember that story you bring about that gentleman that went to Nigeria and they kidnapped and killed him from Maryland?
Mm.
Do you know they brought his body back to America?
Why?
God bless you. I just read it on the news in Nigeria yesterday. They
I
said
thought they said they
because,
buried him. I saw something about an obituary in Nigeria.
yes, his body was buried back in America here because they said he was a citizen, he is a US citizen, like many of us. But when the
Doesn't
American government
matter.
stepped in,
It's all
they found that, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So I'm talking about, so these are the topic for the future, that what is
Yeah.
the essence of us that we create this wealth and we want to go there and bury the wealth there and we can
That's
enjoy
another
it.
topic entirely, Uncle Ade. Let's not go into
That's what
that
I'm
one
saying.
today.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we're gonna enjoy. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sister B. I appreciate you. Thank you for
Thank you,
inviting me
sir.
to your platform again. God
Thank
bless
you
you.
so much. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, Uncle. God bless you. I didn't know that he was buried in America. Imagine. Uncle, yeah, Nigeria, Nisha. Chai. After all the years of working and slaving himself, making all that money in America, he went to Nigeria and he didn't even last. It's another topic. Eshe, thank you so much, Uncle Ade. We always appreciate your wisdom. I've been pinning Hello Ife's comment because Ife has been telling us about how she says she doesn't just want marriage, she doesn't want children. And all her aunties in Nigeria have been doing fasting and prayer over her head. Hello Ife, are you a doctor? She said that, Hello Ife said that, my aunties say being a doctor is useless if I don't have a husband. And I said, so be it then. Hmm. Hmm. You don't expect your aunties to agree with you. Hello, Ife. They are from a different generation. You are something that is new, foreign, unknown, strange to them, diabolical. So they have to cast and bind on your behalf. It's not easy. What are you saying? You don't want to marry, you don't want children. Ife, but you know yourself. It's not everybody that is meant to be a mother. If you don't have that, you don't have that in you. You know yourself that you don't want to be a wife or mother. It's better. You're sparing people from pain. Thank you so much. I hope you'll be able to stand your ground, Ify. Betty, welcome. Where are you joining us from and what do you have to say? Please unmute yourself. Hello, Betty. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, this is Betty. Sorry, let me just mute the other one. Yeah, because
Yes,
I didn't want to miss. I didn't want to
I
miss any
understand.
part of that.
I
So,
understand.
Auntie B, how are you doing?
I'm good, my
Can you
darling.
hear me
How are
clearly?
you? Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, how are you doing? It's been a while.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah. You're doing a great job. And you see, we can go over this over and over, times without number. These things keep happening because some people have not realized that you have to love yourself first. And there's surprisingly, there's even a student with me here, and she said, her mother said her mother has calculated. She just started year one, and her mother said in the next 4 years she should be married. So I'm not like, is it the time that matters or the right
In
person?
another 4 years.
In another 4 years, she should be married.
Buki Ade said something similar. He said, my niece just got married this weekend with her Oyibo husband. She's a doctor. Her grandmother said that she's only giving them 10 months. Oh, she even tried. I thought it's only 9 months she will give them, but she had 1 month for them to at least 1 month of, kerewa. She said, she's giving them 10 months to have a baby. No, I mean, we're laughing about this, but Betty, can you see where the problem is now? You see our culture?
Yeah, and we'll keep changing it because we're only changing from the old school method to the new one. So, like my mom, when I had issues in my marriage, she was like, "Oh, Farada, bear it and all that." It got to a point. She said, "Leave that place. It's not the right place for you." So people are beginning to realize that you don't have to die in the marriage, and we have so many examples. Osinachi was the one that
Oh, yeah.
everybody should fall back. It's a known thing. And I shared okay, I think it was 1 year from now, I shared
Yeah.
my story. And I also said that a lot of people came to me and said, for the sake of your children. Now, if you look at that Osinachi's case, for the sake of your children, she's no more.
Yeah.
Her children are just left with people that we don't even know can take care, whether they can take care of them or
There's
not.
no income because she was the
No
one that was
income,
making the money.
nothing.
Father is
Yes,
in jail.
yeah. So if people sit down and think about this very well, because it's not even about anybody now, it's the party that is involved in it. So me, I took my decision before I called my people. I have left, and that was my decision because my life is not in anybody's hands, right? So that decision is something that women need to sit down and think about, because if anything happens, like this story we're sharing now, she's not in good health. We don't even know if she's going to survive it. If she had thought back and said, oh, maybe before it happened that I have to leave, you don't have to die there. If it doesn't work, and I liken marriage to job application. I don't know if that makes sense. But job application, Canada, where I am, is different from Nigeria. Nigeria, you can go for a job and say, I don't have a job, so therefore they should give you a job. Or maybe my family, my wife, just, just kind of excuses that we give. But here in Canada is different. And I'm beginning to think in that way. What do you have to offer? You understand? So that is how, if you like in marriage to be that, then you will do a background check on who you want to marry. Not because that person has said, I love you. It's not enough. Is this sustainable? Is it what you want? Are you guys going the same direction? So
Hold
if
on a
you
minute,
like ask
Betty.
questions,
Hold
yeah.
on, my darling. Hold on. Thank you, sis. You're on a roll, but let me interrupt you for a minute. Collect your thought. Thank you
Okay.
so much for what you're saying. Living stainlessly with Gladys Balo said, sometimes we need to be careful when supporting people that don't want a husband and children. At times, it might have an underlying issue or spiritual issue, and the person might regret it later. So I ask you, living stainlessly, Miss Mrs. Gladys Bello, I can see you and your spouse there. I see that you are the sort that root for marriage and all that. Well done to you. I don't hold anything against you. But the only question I want to ask you, is it your regrets to make? Is it your mistake to make if somebody say, I don't want this? Is it your mistake to make? Even if they regret it, is it your regret? The
Now
day
your
we
die.
begin to allow people to make their own decisions, in this country, there is something that is called capacity. Once you are 18 years old, except there are some things that is doing funny around you, people, you are assumed, it's presumed that you have capacity to make decision. And you know what? I'm going to bring what they call in my profession, they call it unwise decision. So for someone like you, and I'm not trying to put you under the bus, I'm trying to look at you because I see you're a spiritual woman, you are probably religious, yeah, and all that. But if you make an unwise decision as a human being, as an adult, as long as you are capacitated in making that decision, it is valid even under the law. You are allowed to. Don't try to make decisions for people because it is not your life. This is what we've been preaching against. Whether it's spiritual, is a place of lack of knowledge, they will regret it later. It is their business. It is none of your business. Leave people alone to live their life the way they want to live it. This is the mistake that our grandmothers and our mothers made. And people in our generation are still saying things like this. It's not your business. It's not your life. Maybe you have your husband at home. You have your children at home. You are enjoying your marriage. Fine. This is what you want. Is somebody like Hello Ife, and I saw another person, I think, I don't know if it's Adadaya that said it. Somebody else said it in the comment section that this is exactly my feeling. Leave people to make their respect people's decisions. That's the word. It's lack of respect that makes you think that you know more than the other person. Because you think you know more than them. You know what is good for their life. You are the one that is the ultimate judge of how people should live their life. Please, let's not make that mistake. Our mothers did that. Our grandmothers did that. It is wrong. The world is changing, is evolving. Allow people to make their mistake in peace. If they realize later on when they are 50 that it was a mistake, it is their cross to carry. It is their body. It is not yours. Please, don't do that. If they tell you they don't want to have children, they don't want to marry, leave them alone. Because when you pressure people into doing things they don't want to do, they say, I didn't want to do this thing, no. It's my mother, it's my auntie. It's wrong. I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you so much. Betty, my darling, continue. Sorry for that.
Oh no, it's good as you said that. So people really need to understand. I like that point when you said just like na your die, I won't die. Just let me work out, that kind of thing. So people need to take personal decision on their own. Don't live any life for anybody. Osinachi is gone now. Everybody has rested. But the children, they are just there. I don't know where they are, but God help them. So, they don't have mother, they don't have father. So people can as well treat them anyhow. So this same children we're talking about. Then I want to support Uzo's motion saying that people should pay you. Yeah. I learned something in economics. If you pay, even if it's just $1, it becomes a value to you. It becomes so valuable if you give that advice to people. Maybe then they can sit down and start, oh, I paid for this one. Okay, let me be serious with this advice I've been given. Then we should keep educating people. I know that a lot of people need, a lot of young girls, a lot of single people need to hear this. And it's not so many because they are surrounded by people that are just fooling themselves. I know that there are more, the so-called married people, you'll be surprised that the unhappy ones, the percentage is higher than the ones that are single mothers. You'll be shocked. Many people are feeling just staying there like nothing is happening. I also did that for a while, but I just realized I was fooling myself. I wasn't fooling anyone else. And I'm in a better place now. I can think straight. I know what I want. I know the direction to face when people are scared. And an example, even when my children's father said, you started manipulating my kids, saying that people who don't have father or father figure or become something else, like what you don't want. But the truth is that I now told them, you remember Obama? His father was living his life in US.
And it
So
rose
you
to
can be
become
what?
the first And it might only be the only one that ever go to. Someone told me a while ago and said, before you see a black man that will become president again in America, you go take.
You go, hey. So what I'm trying to say that everything just be in the right place. It's only when you think right, you're in a good place mentally, that you can train your children the way you want them to go. And these children, they copy us even much more than the instructions we give them. We can
Oh yeah.
instruct them, but they copy our lifestyles. So if we want to live for our kids, we have to be in a good place. If it's not working, then work out. I don't even care. I know I don't have friends. Some of them don't even call me anymore, but I don't care, right?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it. It's
worry
part of
about
it now since
what
you divorced
anybody's
now,
thinking.
or since you are
Uh,
separated now. You are not their friend
once
anymore. Your church
you're
people
not,
will not even see you and greet you anymore because
but
now
I
you are
don't
not in a
care.
marriage. How dare you leave your marriage?
Don't mind
No,
them. It's not working.
nobody's
And like this,
advocating for marriage breakup. Nobody stays in a marriage that is sweet and will live.
yes,
But look
yes.
at Bimbo today. What are we talking about?
And what is it? We're not in a boxing ring. What is it that we are chasing? You're in the marriage, you're living, cat and mouse kind of life. It's not the best. The more we stay, I just believe that to capital, the more we tell people, the more we encourage people, even before they get married, know what you want. There are things that will not stay forever. But if it's the same direction, okay, you're single, you marry someone that supports you, then you know that certainly you continue in that direction. But you just marry somebody because it's time for you to get married. You're bound to choose the wrong person because those people also know that is what you want. You're desperate. So we don't
Thank
want to be
you.
desperate. Yeah.
Mm.
So that's all I've got to say, Auntie B. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I'm
so much. I appreciate you, Betty. Thank you for joining us
in.
tonight. Thank you. I hope you are doing well. Love and appreciate you so much. Okay, we've done almost 2 hours, so I'm moving very forward very quickly. Okay. ST is next. Film girl, I see you. Why are you putting your hands like that? Sheko see. Don't worry, Emma worry. People are still talking about that, your contribution in our last show. You brought fire. Holy Ghost fire you brought that day. I'll come to you in a minute. Okay, ST, please go very quickly. Where are you joining us from and what do you have to say? 3 minutes, let's
Okay,
go.
I'm joining you from Brookshire, Texas. I just want to commend all this show. It's been a while, but I've always been in the background. So my own purpose of calling in is to all the single ladies and to all the married ladies on this platform. Are we learning? Because we keep on going over and over the same thing. So let me give you an example. A lady was telling me that I would rather receive a slap driving a Range Rover than to marry a poor man. So I said, so by the time you receive slap for the next 10 years, your cranial nerves has breakdown, you cannot hear again. What will now be the use of the Range Rover?
So she doesn't think
Because
she can buy a Range Rover for herself?
I don't get it. Because she
Must
was
it be
telling
a
me
man
that,
that will buy a Range Rover for you? I bought
yeah, that
one,
I
two.
don't understand.
I
So
think it's this Range Rover I'm driving now that my husband bought for me. And this is my third Range Rover. The first, and I'm not bragging, the first one I bought myself was a Range Rover Evoque. The second one was a Range Rover Sport. I bought it myself. It's the one I'm driving now that my husband bought for me. So what is
and
our problem that you want to
and
collect slap because of Range Rover?
is even life about Range Rover? What is the
Even
essence
if
of
you
the
don't drive Range
marriage?
Rover, what is the big deal? What is it? What
Ah,
is it?
I mean, just go and buy something that is movable.
No,
So far, you
that's
can move from one place to another.
ST. When people talk like that, it's poverty of the spirit, we call it. So we
So what
understand
I'm
what you're
saying
saying.
is, if you are in a marriage, you are not happy, then what is the essence of the marriage? Like what you are reading about this lady, I said most of us have intention that this guy will change. The same way you cannot change as a woman, that's the same way this man will not change.
How will it change?
After 30 years old, you want to come in 6 months and change 30 years behavior? It's not possible. Then the girls of nowadays we have, their mind about accumulation of wealth, they are ready to do anything, is just concerning. And that's why a lot of them are in bad marriages. Like you said, this lady, no, you didn't go to school. Business, you no get. A job, you no do. All your, everything is on a man. And
Her
this man, do
project,
you know?
her life
Yeah.
project is the man, is the marriage.
And
She
those
was
men,
doing business. I
mhm.
understand she was doing business eventually, but I don't know.
But do you know those men that does that? They know the type of women they do it to.
Mm-hmm.
Olushola, you can't try that with me. Did you drink ogogoro? You know, they know the type of because they know that she will not go. Whatever they do to them, they will not go. I just pray that we'll learn, and I pray this lady survived this incident. Even if she survived, what about the scar? There are marriage that leave eternal scar on you.
Oh yeah.
And those are the
This
stars
one,
you look at and you cry.
maybe if you follow me on Instagram tomorrow, I will post. What they sent to me about her, so you will see where she is now. This cars, it's not here.
Man,
No,
man.
the
See,
sky is too
Sabi,
much.
it is well. Let me just allow other people to contribute.
Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you. It's been a while. God bless you. Thanks for sharing with us tonight. Okay, I have Lala. Lala is next before I come to my sister, Film Girl. Hello, Lala. What do you have to say? And where you join us from? Thank you.
Hey, Auntie B. Sorry, I'll be quick.
Okay.
I just wanted to thank you so much for letting me talk again in your platform. A few things I actually wanted to talk about. Just actually a few things I want to mention is number one, look at the type of advice people are giving. May y'all dochi, or don't leave the house. It's your house. So to it's what we have started to value in our society. What matters is the money, as though a woman cannot provide for themselves, as though this is not something that we can, you know, as
Do you
though
want
it's
to
not
come
some.
back later? Yeah?
Sorry, I'm not sorry. As though it's not something a woman can provide for herself. When you're given, there's a troubled marriage, there's a troubled union, and a woman is going through literally emotional damage in front of her children. And the focus everyone has, don't leave, oh, because if you leave, somebody else will enter. Before, if you die, will you take the key of the house and die with it? Will they lock up the house because you died?
You
And this is another,
delete Lala.
if if you delete, would the house go 6 feet under with you? It would not. It would just be you. And a lot of times when we say, oh no, because of the children, did you ever consider what you're doing to the children for staying? This woman everybody's talking about now, this is not the first story in the news that we've heard about of her. And the thing is, there's a lack of value that leaves a person, and they consider themselves, this is the only thing I'm worth, this is my only worth. And our society indoctrinates this in a lot of women. That is, it would take, no matter how many times it's happened. For example, we talk about some of the popular stars and how some girls refuse to move on because, oh, I've had child for this person, so I cannot leave. Why? Why is your worth tied to a person, whether a man or a woman? Why do you believe so little in yourself, in your own ability, that you're willing to take anything? It doesn't matter what. Can you imagine what it takes? At this point, this woman is not even mentally okay. Let's call it that. There is no way a mentally okay person will burn themselves, to that. That's in any country. Here in the United States, you will be committed because you no longer have the capacity to think rationally. There is no rational thought. Do you understand? You can only inflict pain on yourself when you cannot think rationally. And the man in question clearly showing that he no longer love does not live here anymore. Even as she's burned, he's complaining about his own burn. How less value can you have for another human being? And this, like we keep saying, this should be a lesson to every other woman. I beg, stop building. No, they build Bob. build yourself first and let your own reflection help Bob build if he wants to build. You cannot keep building a man when you can't give what you don't have.
They are building, they are building. They are building
You
people
build someone when
and neglecting themselves.
how can you be building someone when it becomes a complete deficit? Okay. And I know a lot of people say, oh, leave. When you have not invested in yourself at all,
Exactly. You
living
see what you
becomes a
said now?
problem.
That is the main thing. That is the cocoa.
Living becomes a problem. Because now you're thinking, how am I going to feed A? How am I going to do this? But the whole time, you had 5 children with a man that does that, even beat you when you're pregnant. Help me understand the reason behind this. 5 children with a man that beats you.
I mean, it takes a level, it takes a certain kind of evil for anybody at all, because pregnancy, in this part of the world, if you carry a bag, if you are inside a bus, I remember when we came to this country, I was pregnant. Inside bus, if you see the way they were running, helping me to carry things because my belly was long, it takes a special kind of evil for the person that is responsible for that baby to put their hands on you.
But Auntie B, you know what? We say that, and I agree with you 100%, but you know what? We teach people how to treat us. We teach people how to treat us in the sense that you have tolerated this, you have made this okay. Even before he beat you while you were pregnant, he has beat you when you were not pregnant. Do you understand? We teach people how to treat us. That does not change even in marriage or in relationship. So you've told this man that he is your life, that he's your everything. And now if I'm your life, that means I can control your life. I can pull you up, I can pull you down. Do you understand what I'm saying? You at some point you take onus of yourself. I want to blame this man so badly. I want to blame this man, but his own case is criminal. It is between him and authorities and then God. Because when I say
What
it's
are they
between
going
him
to do to him? Is
and
it not
God,
Nigeria?
I
What would they do to him?
the thing is, well, that's what I'm saying. If I say it's between him and God, you seem as though that he should be exonerated on earth. No, he should not be. And honestly, if we take this to court by investigation, they actually might be legally not liable to do anything to him because she set the house on fire.
Wow, Lala, it is so sad. I'm not gonna lie. Very, very sad. Thank you so much for your contribution, my darling. Film girl.
Hello, Auntie B. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening, my sister. How are you? Please put up the other thing that is talking. You have to open so we can hear you. Yeah?
I don't
Mute
have
you.
anything
Mute
that's
your
talking.
YouTube. Oh, really? Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
I already switched up my YouTube. Is it still?
No,
Is
no,
it
no, no.
still
It's good now. Yeah.
okay? Auntie B, I've heard everything everybody has said, and like whenever we had this kind of topics, it just goes on and on, the same advice. I also have my own I wrote down, but I just thought about it. I said, let me share this from a different angle. You know, when people want change and everything, you need to look at somebody that changed as well to see what they did, right? I'm going to go to America, right? This US, they are saying that it's been the champion for, oh, don't beat women, or any little thing will imprison you and whatever. As at 1970s, it wasn't like this. I want everybody after this show to go and Google what they call the burning bush. It's a story about a woman called Francine Hughes that changed the laws of America that we are seeing today. As at up to 1970s, what they had what they called the chastisement law in place in America, meaning that a man is allowed to physically punish his wife to teach her a lesson. Like I want to, like you are correcting your wife physically is allowed. This woman, they made a movie about her. This woman, her husband used to beat her repeatedly. He beat her so many times. The neighbors called the police. There's even one time the police came and they saw the man beating the woman in presence of the police. And the policeman now challenged the guy, and the guy he forgot himself. I think he kind of hit the policeman. The policeman arrested him. Even in court, when they were saying that, oh, when they came, he stopped fighting. The woman now said, look at the lawyer, like, look at this woman and look at you. You a figure, your authority figure. Why do you think he would not fight you? but he can beat up this woman. This guy did so many things. He raped the woman. She went to school. She wanted to go to school to better herself. He would beat her, rip her books up. Even there's one time the guy wasn't even working. The lady was getting money from the government, and the small money from the government she was using to feed herself and her children. The guy was complaining that there was no meat.
That's the R word. Will never use it in this environment, my darling.
What? Okay, sorry. I'm sorry about that. So I'm so sorry. The man was complaining that there was no meat in the food and everything. That day he brushed her, put her face in the trash. He did so many things. What did this woman do? It's like this woman does a switch just flipped in her head. She put all her children in the car, and then she set the man on fire while he was drunk and asleep. The news went everywhere in America. People were like, oh, she should be killed. She should be this, she should be that, she should be that, she should be this. She deleted her husband, basically, and then she drove herself to the police station to go and report herself. But guess what? Underground, all these all these activists, by that time, was already gaining ground. So it became a national outcry, like what happened to Osinachi. They did not talk about it. There were rallies on the streets of America.
What's happened since Osinachi? Is there anything that happened in Nigeria since Osinachi was deleted?
This kind of Osinachi that touched everybody, that they didn't just sit down in the house and say, hey, what a pity. The Americans took action. They went on the streets. You know how Americans were like,
yeah.
What? I'm not telling you what happened. They took action. They went on the streets. People there was rallies everywhere, every corner. Women were like saying, no, not anymore. So at that point, this thing got to Washington DC and everything. As in, they couldn't find anywhere. There was so much voices shouting out from the streets, from the human rights people that were coming out. Also, human rights people said, gaining traction on the whole thing. They now got a psychologist to examine the woman. I think she was going to jail like normal before and everything, examine her. The man, the psychologist put together that she was, that she was battered, that she wasn't thinking well, it's a crime of passion, blah, 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 blah. And that was when they coined that thing, the battered wife syndrome, because of this woman. And it was on her back that they now changed the law of America, saying that going forward, like they start putting things in place, domestic, all this domestic violence, whatever, said coming in place. After all this started springing up, like they all like helping each other. The government said put it, because as at then, if you call the police, this woman went to the police many times to say, I'm being beaten. My husband is beating me. Nobody, she went to social care. They were like, I'm sorry, we don't know about it.
Let me tell you something. Let me pause here and say something. You said something very crucial. And incidentally, I remember Osinachi today. I was listening to a playlist music. I normally listen to some soothing Christian music when I'm doing my show, when I'm working. And in the playlist, Osinachi's song came on. I cannot even express the sadness that I felt. And all I was thinking was, oh, look at this talent. Look at this voice. Look at this woman. Everything she carried that the husband couldn't see. So, the difference is that, like Omoya is saying, Omoya is kind of saying that the difference is that Nigerians, I don't think Nigerians are docile. Nigerians, it's not docile. I won't use that word. But Omoya is saying that Nigerians are too docile. When they are supposed to rally, they did nothing.
Yeah.
I will not say Nigerians are docile. They are not docile. But Nigerians is all about, if it doesn't involve me, why should I care? It's selfishness.
Selfishness.
Because Osinachi's case was a typical example of somebody that it cut across race, religion, ethnicity in Nigeria, the things that normally divide us, class. The Nigerian woman would have come out and said, today, Buhari, there must be a bill in the National Assembly. Today, this must change. Put out a DV, a domestic violence bill. Any man that is doing this, like you are saying, the example you're giving, but you never did that. Because everybody is thinking, I'm not Igbo. I'm not there. How does that affect me?
Affect everybody. See, this is but my point, going back to this, just to tell you that no matter what we say, even on this platform, because matriarchy, in Nigeria, someone that's promoting all this bad behavior. And I'll come to why I'm saying so, right? No matter what we say, if the law, someone else said, if the law does not up their game, this thing will continue happening. You can preach from now to tomorrow.
As we are
Because
talking, another one has happened in Ogun State.
why, even in America here, there are still white men that believe in that women are beneath them, they want to beat them. But when they think about the law, they'll put their hands down. Do you understand? This is human law. There are still bad men that are white, that are American, that they want to, some of them, they find some women that they can manipulate till now and they beat them, eventually it comes out. But there are still men that want to dominate.
The law is on their side. Once the law is involved, you know that you have some succor.
Yeah. And because this law was being taught down to primary school, it began to change the mindset of children. That's why this new generation, it's just 43 years old, though. This law is 43 years old. Because if that thing did not happen till today in America will have been like Nigeria. They'll be beating women. I'm not lie to you. If this thing did not happen, America will have still be like Nigeria. Men will be beating women left, right, and center. Nothing will happen. But this thing happened in a way that people came out and rallied and said, no more. No more. And they put pressure on their government. No more. We're not going to work, nothing. It was a lot. And then something now happened and they changed. Do you understand? Because like I said, if it did not happen, they will still be here. They will still be here in abuse in America. Because there are men that actually want to beat women here. It still happens. Some of them, they lose control, they beat you and they go to jail. But there's a law. Do you understand? So, well, coming back to our own side. Hey, Auntie B, is a very long story. Do you know that when I got married, right? That's a different story. I got married to someone out of profit. It was a mistake. So when I now realized, like,
no, film girl. Was it a prophecy? No. Don't deny us of that story, film girl. You know I love you. You need to give me the gist.
No,
was it a prophecy? Because you're a church girl. I can see you're a church girl.
No, I'm not. I'm Wednesday at home. No, I'm not. I'm in between. I'm just like, but it was a prophecy thing, and then and then when I became wise after that and everything, because I've been in church for a long time, ministry and all that kind of stuff. So it went out, So that one, but the thing is that 4 months into the thing, even 3 months, I now started borrowing myself sense that this is not going to work. It's not so, we were so different from like night and day. We had different values. He was very traditional. I'm a liberal person. It wasn't just going to work,
And you are so super intelligent. Chineke.
There's one day I told him, I said to him, I was crying. I was like, why are you crying? I'm like, if I start explaining the reason I'm crying, you don't have the mental acuity to understand where I'm crying from.
Hey,
you don't have it.
My sister.
You don't know where I'm coming from. You don't even get it. There's no point. There's nobody explaining to you. So there are many things that happened, but that one is like another day, So this,
you need to come and share your story, film girl. All this one you are talking now, because there's a church girl somewhere now that's about to fall into that prophecy thing that you just don't please. You know what? Testimonies like that, and people sharing is liberating. It helps other people.
Yeah, I will. But if I do that, I'm going to divert us from what we are talking about today. Do you understand?
Today. No, not today. I'm saying another time. Yeah, please.
Definitely. So that period when I was now making up my mind that, man, this is not going to work. I don't think it's going to work. I now said, voice now my opinion. Come and see my aunties. You say, hey, it's not just one person, not just 2, not 10, not 20. They all had the same kind of voice in my head. They were saying to me, you know how these men are. We know they are all useless. Just pick anybody. You just pick anybody and you marry the person. They have your children. When you have your children, then take your children and start training them and forget about the guy. Don't look at him. All of them are just useless. That was what they were saying to me over and over and over again. And if you see some women that were saying these things, like you said, some of them were really wretched. Like,
that's a very good point you made. That's what Ify was saying. No matter how wretched you are, as a married woman, you feel that you have the right and that you have the temerity to give advice to somebody with your wretchedness.
That they were illiterate, your husband are illiterate, your baby is tapping palm wine, the woman is selling palm oil in the whatever. They'll come and meet, because I'm Igbo, so I go to the village a lot, like they go like, oh, hey, why are you, whatever, Dibu good? I mean, your husband is your pride, you cannot do this to your mother. They said bringing my mother angle to it. What do you want your mother to do? You want to shame your mother in the public place. You want to put her down. You want to do. They will be talking to you like, I'm a married woman. No, you have to manage. This marriage is by, everybody has to take their cross. I'm like, I say this cross or whatever. Then now, as I was battling this one, my mom now went to bring there's this guy that she prays with, like it's like the guy that even brought the prophets and everything.
Did you watch Tammy's story? Film
What?
there, you need to go and watch Tammy's testimony.
I want Tammy's testimony. That's why I said.
Okay. Because you are a church girl, so you know about all this prophecy. Tammy's pastor wanted to enter.
Yes, I saw Tammy's story. I heard everything, and then I was so happy for her and everything, So the guy was now like telling me, hey, yeah, I sat with her for 3 hours or 4. There's this woman, that her husband was this, her husband was that, he was this terrible. About many years, they prayed and prayed. He now changed, he now did that. He went on, like, give me like maybe 20 or 25 different stories. And I said to him, brother, there's no vex. Of all these stories you have told me now, the least I've heard is 15 years before there's change. I want to ask a question.
What happened in that 15 years?
15 years. Would I not die of bitterness?
That's Bimbo. 19 years of pain.
Even without DV or whatever, will I not die of bitterness? How will I change in 15 years? What kind of negative person will I be? Because when you're absorbing all this negativity, it's going to affect you, it's going to change you. And I said, please, I'm sorry, I don't think anybody's worth is not what we pray like. Why am I praying for him? Is he Jesus? No, it's not a project. I have things to pray about. I can't be praying for one person for all my life. I have things to pray about, to progress and all that kind of stuff. But of course, the voices were going on and on and on and on. At the point, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to whatever and everything. And then, of course, naturally, I won't tell you it was easy, because I had to withdraw from society. I had to withdraw because people were talking and talking. People that had no business talking to you come and talk to you. People was now going to tell people all sorts of nonsense that were not even true. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of men, like all these weak men that don't have character, when they want to justify something, they don't want to take a blame. They want to be like they're the good person in the relationship. So they want to cook up all sorts of stories about the woman and everything. It takes a very strong and mature man to take response and say, oh, I think I had a part to play in this thing, whatever. Most likely,
absolutely.
Of lies they came up with, I just had to withdraw. I couldn't take, it was a lot. People take, if not, I couldn't, again, people like, oh, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. I just like, no. Do you understand? So matriarchy will never, unless there's a law, I'm telling you, this is the only way. If you can talk from now to tomorrow, unless there's a law, is that law that will reset everybody's brain. By then they start seeing their sons going to jail for 20 years or 15 years for DV. People will start advising their sons, don't beat your wife, do you understand? Don't beat her, hey, do you understand?
Yeah.
If we keep on talking about it, these women are even down to our mate. Like the last caller, the woman that called about her friend that said I was always calling her, tell her, why are you married? I had a friend like that. She called me, Choma, you're not married. Hey, I'm like, is it by force? As in, like,
that's Dr. Ife.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't found anybody like, what is your problem? And this woman is not really having a nice time in her marriage. Her husband is a very difficult person. I thought that if he's married for a husband, I would rather be single. Because the more I look at it, there are so many damaged men out there. I'm sorry to say so, but they're good men, but they're damaged men. But your show has actually shown me that they're actually good men, which is a good thing. That's one thing to take from your show, that they're actually good men in the society, because they are just, the damaged men are just everywhere. They're just showing their everywhere, So now I remember a guy telling me one time that you're too proud. You're too proud. You'll never get married because you're too proud. I'm like, I'm too proud because I'm saying I don't want to be stupid like other girls and take abuse or anything. You understand? I mean, you did something to me, I'm like, no, this cannot work. And maybe they're like, I'm not even begging you. I say, why will I beg you? Are you God? Say, you're too proud, though. You're a proud woman. You won't get married. I say, thank you. So people like those kind of men look at women like us that know, like people like Omboye that know our ground. Look at us like, this one you don't get married though. There's no
Assertive women, you know too much. You can't get married though.
get married. You have to be so these like the mumu ones that get married. Do you understand? Once they say that you are mumu, being a mumu.
But you know, that is a myth. Even the assertive one, Uzo is she's one of the most assertive women on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
But she has one of the most, according the way she talks about her husband. Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a man for every woman.
I found that
she wasn't putting up with any BS, but she found a really good man in the diaspora.
Auntie B, let me even shock you, sir. I wrote it, I forgot here. There's one YouTube video I saw of a woman saying that all these women that are single or are divorced, that are just walking out of their marriage anyhow, or whatever. It's when you get to your 50s that you will suffer. That time you won't find any man to touch you. You won't find any man to be with you. I'm like, I said, wow. and that's in my mind. Is all these babas that are 65 and said that their engine has said die.
I thought you say you're a church girl, film girl. I don't like it too. Should we say you're a church girl? You are not behaving like a church girl. Now you're talking about Baba in their 60s. I don't like it too.
I'm speaking the reality. Do you understand? You keep on hearing women are saying that husband in their 60s and 70s because most of them, the married men are older than them. Do you understand? So by the time husband should be like 60, 70. So when they say that even it's not a funke with that preacher that was saying that generator will start dying by that time. I know what you're saying. That woman
the generator is dead.
It's going down or something, and then you say their sexuality starts peaking. So I'm wondering, so if you're not tied to a man that the generator is dying and the electricity needs more voltage, I don't understand how it's going to work. This woman was, you're going to regret it. You're going to suffer. I said, hey, now who no get husband though, you know? And then I don't know, women, we are our biggest problems, I swear.
Just know yourself.
Women, we are the biggest problems ourselves.
Know yourself, love yourself, be content and happy where you are on the way to where you are going. You know, the funny thing, thank you so much, Film Girl. Really appreciate talking to you as always. Thank you so much, my darling. You know, the funny thing about all this is that single women, not that they don't want to marry you, they do want to marry. I mean, some of them, not everyone, some don't want to, but some want to marry, but they just don't want to settle. There's a difference. They don't want to settle. So when somebody don't want to settle, and you that have settled, you are in your long suffering, you are enjoying your suffering, you are jealous now because the other person didn't settle. You're like, how dare you? You just traveling, enjoying yourself, living your best life. When me, I'm suffering here, come and enjoy my suffering. That is what it is. There are happy marriages out there, okay? But a lot of single women that I know, they want to get married, but they don't want to settle. Thank you so much, Film Girl. You are amazing. You need to come and share your story with us. Really, really appreciate you. Okay. I've got BBMJ from the United States of America. All right.
Auntie B, Sis B,
hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Please, people, give this video a thumbs up. People are not liking, BB, let me tell them.
Yes, so I was about to say that. There are 1,200 people, 1,285 and 54 people to be precise, and we don't even have up to 600 likes. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, people are not liking and they are enjoying the nuggets that we share.
Apart from enjoying, Sister B, some people get notes, then get notes part, then get Oyibo Obodo.
The time I go strike from these live shows, now I go no.
Yes, so
I've been saying notes. I go strike soon.
I beg, no strike, please.
I go strike now because it's not fair now. It's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Please, people,
these live shows are not easy. It's not easy to do them. Hours and hours to sit down here.
It's your precious time that we should be paying for. People pay for therapies, $96 per hour, $100 per hour. And they go and sit down there, and at the end of the day, they don't even get their problem solved. And we all come here, we share knowledge, we share experiences. So please, 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 I beg on her. It takes 1 second. Just go out, and then come back and continue watching the show.
Thank you.
But Sister B, let me give you your flowers first. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. I love your smile. I love everything you do. May your home continue to be filled with plenty grace and smile and peace of mind.
Amen.
everything. But this really triggered me when I started commenting in the chat section. I came in with tears, and I'm really holding my back not to cry right now because this is so true. Sister B, my home is beautiful. I have a wonderful partner and friend. I don't want to call him husband because that's deep. I call him my friend. That's how close we are. But a few weeks ago, something happened to me. And to cut a long story short, I turned my car back from where I was going to, and I came home to take meds to end things with myself. That's how it was. Yes.
Oh my God.
That's how
serious.
strong it was. Yes. I came back home and I was standing in front of my meds and I was debating which one I will take that would make the process
Who pushed you
faster.
to that level, Bibi?
Yes, it got to that point. And I'm being very vulnerable and very sincere right now. And for a time, you notice I wasn't on your show and I wasn't
yes,
I was dealing with that. And it came from caring too much about a problem that wasn't my own. And that's my sister's situation because she's in this right now. And what happened? The last I was told, the idiots laid hands on her. This is after 2 kids. It got so bad, it broke her eardrum. And I was fuming. I was fuming. I wanted to just...
Were they in Nigeria?
Yes. Within that period in time, Sister B, I will drive to school to pick my daughter up. How I got there, I don't know. How I come back, I don't know. I will be in front of a stoplight. My daughter will tell me, Mommy, we have to go. It has changed to green. And I will catch myself back. I will get to my house and park at my garage. And I will sit down there for hours. My husband will come back and say, are you not coming inside? You're sitting inside the car. I'm like, oh, we have gotten here. My daughter has come out of the car, gotten into the house. I do not even know.
That's serious.
It got to that point. My husband told me it took him 3 hours to wake me up.
Because of your sister's situation.
Yes, that is how I overthought it. It got to that point. 3 hours it took me up.
Why did you allow it to affect you to that point, Bibi?
Because in my head, my mother had left her words telling me, you make sure you take care of your sister.
I know.
I'm leaving.
I know the burden. Yeah.
I put your sister in your hands.
Yeah.
You make sure she leaves that place and take care of her. If you don't, it will come back to haunt you. And I carried that. So when I heard her situation, I was everywhere and nowhere. Until it was a text message I sent to a friend. And I sent that text message to that particular friend because I know she does not check her messages. I'm just telling you the strategy I used. I sent it to her and I felt she doesn't look at her messages on time. So by the time she looks at it, the deed will be done. Unfortunately for me, God was on my side. And that lady looked at the message, which she doesn't do, immediately sent message to my husband. My husband came into the house. And they tried waking me up. The man was lost, rushed me to emergency. Yes, Sister B, what I'm talking to you now, we're still in the process. It's not up to a month.
Hey, Chineke.
I got to the hospital. They did all the psych evaluation, did everything, and said, okay, we've looked at your history. We've never had this before. This is all new. You're carrying a baggage of trauma. Went through the history with me. And to be, I'm in a program right now as I speak with you.
And this is not even your issue.
This is not my issue. Hey, I'm telling you.
I can imagine what Ify is feeling right now.
Exactly. I'm telling
you.
Ify
said that her sister is in exactly the same position like Bimbo.
Yes. And the psychiatrist looked at me and said, why are you wearing a mask? Oyibo man looked at me, said, why are you wearing a mask? So you're such a beautiful lady. Take the mask off. Put the mask down.
But you know what, baby? Let me tell you something. I have that burden. My mother wrote a letter for, I've never said this publicly before. This is the very first time I'm saying this. I have only one younger sister. And before my mom passed like maybe 2 years after I came to the UK. And she wrote a letter and she said, she put that responsibility, not like my sister was not even married then, you know, but she said, look after your sister. I know she's stubborn, she's not like you. You are the empath in the family, you are caring, you are loving. I am leaving your sister to you. So I understand exactly what you are saying about a parent that is late now leaving you the burden of looking after your younger one. But let me tell you something. At the end of the day, those younger ones are adults now. Okay? They are going to make their decisions irrespective of your feelings, your opinions, your advice, whatever you want to say. They will make their decision. So I think it's unfair for you to take on so much, because now to your spouse, to your husband and your children, it's unfair to them.
Oh,
And they are looking
yes.
at you as if, are you being selfish right now because of your sister's issue? And because it's like you want to deprive your own family of the joy, the happiness of having you in their life because of a responsibility that's placed on you, especially when they don't listen to you.
Sister B, but
So,
no, let's call it what it is. It was a selfish act. You're thinking of only yourself only.
oh yeah, it is selfish. But
It's a selfish
at that
act.
point in your mind, and
It's
that's why I'm
I
cutting
only
you
see the
some slack here
problem.
because at this
Yeah.
point now, you're always thinking, okay, my mom told me to take care of her and I cannot. What can I do? You're not thinking at that point, when people get to that point when when they start to think about deleting themselves, they are not thinking about consequences of their
No.
actions. They are not thinking
Mhm.
about people who will be affected. They are only thinking about relieving themselves of the pain.
I agree with you. And that's
Because
where I
you are
am
in a
right now.
pain because of your sister, her situation. So,
I
but
I agree with you. And that's where I am right now. And so I am on the mend. I have to remind every morning. My husband had to tell me we're not taking calls from home anymore. I'm
block
not,
them,
I'm
block
not,
them,
he said,
block
I'm not
them.
asking for your suggestion. I'm not trying to,
Oh,
I am telling you we're not doing that
where's
anymore.
Annie? Oh my, yeah, please let me find Annie. Block
You cannot
them.
do that anymore. Look at your daughter. She's growing. She's watching you. And that's what hits me. How is she going to react to situations when it comes to her? Is this
Your
how you
sister is
want
not
her
going
to
to come to
react?
America to look after your
At
daughter, my
all,
darling. If anything
at
happens to you, God
all,
forbid.
at all. And of course, my wonderful husband made it light and said, so this place you're sharing with me, you want somebody else to come? I say, God forbid. No, but no, how can anybody share the bed with you?
I beg you.
We laugh over the
That's what I'm
matter.
telling you now because I have that burden as well.
Yes,
I
it's
know
not
what it
worth it.
means.
But
So
Auntie
to,
B,
to
I
be
wanted
placed on that
people.
kind of pedestal that you are the one that is responsible. I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not. They are
I
adults.
agree.
They can make their own decision. I don't need to be responsible for you.
You are so correct. You're very correct. And I'm in that spot when I go for my program, and I'm reminded that every day. You cannot change what they are not willing to change, which is the truth.
You
No
have no
matter how
control
much
over
you
their
will
life
it,
and their decisions. You can
no
only
matter how
advise.
much you will it for them, if they don't will it for themselves, nothing can happen. But I was bringing this up for people to appreciate that when these things happen and when people refuse to stay, these are the people that get affected. Your family is looking at you. They want to do something, but they cannot do anything. But look at where you're putting them. And it takes people with the will and the heartache to say, you know what, I'm done. So at this stage, that's where I am, because I have to be well. For me to even try to help you, I have to be well all around, emotionally, physically, mentally, to be able to deal with your situation. And that's how bad it is. I can imagine what this beautiful lady's family is going through, what her mom is going through, what her father is dealing with. Let's not even go into about the children, what they will grow up to deal with in the future, to know that this is how toxic their mother and father's relationship was. So let's see how it is. Let's bring it home. So please, when Auntie B takes her beautiful time to come on and decide to share things with us, please, even if you don't think it is needed for you, share it with somebody else because it might just save someone's life. As we like it, the traction goes round. People get to learn more. People get to know more. People get to save lives. And it goes on. It's a paying forward system. And that's what we all want to use here. Let's pay it forward. Let's pay it forward by liking, by sharing. Even if it means you giving data to somebody at home and say, yeah, I buy the data for you. Watch this particular show. Please, let's do that.
No,
because it goes a long way.
Mm.
And I am speaking from experience. What happened to me? It doesn't have to happen to all of us for us to learn. It does not. We don't all need to be in that space.
How are you doing now, my darling?
The answer, I take it day by day, Sister B. That's the honest truth. Yesterday, I had a meltdown. A few days before, I'm driving on the freeway and I'm thinking, it will just be easy to just jump out this road and end things.
No,
that's how
don't
bad
be
it
like
is.
that, baby.
So my husband watches me like a hawk. Calls, where are you? What are you doing? Who are you with? Can you drive alone? Is somebody?
Do you love him?
Oh, too much.
You love your daughter?
Too much. Oh yes. Oh,
and
yes.
You love your life?
Yes. You
love your beautiful life?
I love my peace of mind. So I'm working towards changing things.
Why are you getting yourself? What I'm thinking is that have you got someone you're working with and talking to at the moment, the psychiatrist, the psychologist?
Yes.
You need to get to the root of this.
Yes.
There's something more than the instructions that were given, because me, as I'm talking to you now, maybe I shared with you my own sisters. My mom was telling me, oh, I know she's this. We didn't talk for years. It was very painful for me. If I show you this, my sister's picture, we are like twins. You won't even know it's not me. I've never shared this before. But we didn't talk because at a point I had to make a decision that, not that she was in a DV situation or she was in any situation, but she just got money. And then she turned around and said that, everybody in her family now is a witch that is pursuing her. And I'm like, let me tell you something, Bibi. Don't do that, please. Everybody is responsible. I know African household, we tend to have this responsibility and trust on us, whether we like it or not. We want to tell our older children you are responsible for the younger ones. Yeah, to an extent, but they are adults now. My sister is an adult. She's 40. I'm only 6 years older than her, so she's 44 now. She's got 4 children. So when all the drama started happening, I said, yeah, okay. I left her. I just left her. People could not believe it because we were like trains going up. Let me tell you something. When I was in Obafemi Awolowo University, when she comes to my school, and I've never shared this before, when she comes and she puts on my clothes, people will say, Bree, they'll be greeting her. If you see my sister, you will not know it's not me. In Nigeria today, people stop her in the market and say, Auntie B, you are in Nigeria. She'll say, no, it's not me. That's how much you look alike. My mother used to say, we should have been twins. No, don't put that on yourself. But I came to a point where I had to advise myself that, okay, I love her. I practically raised her. We've been together, but this is the choices she's made now. So what are my options? I choose myself. You have to choose yourself, baby. I chose myself. I chose my husband. I chose my children first. But if anything happened to you, this one that you are an empath, right?
Yes, I am.
And you are thinking that you want to delete yourself because of your sibling. If anything happens to you, it's the people in your life, your daughter, your husband, that will suffer. She will carry on living her life. So why you?
I agree with you, Sister B. And
Put yourself first. It is not selfish. It is self-care. I'm telling you from a place of experience.
It's not
now.
selfish. I agree.
Whatever she decides to do, that's how I blocked like 2 or 3 people here today who are talking nonsense. When I say that adults have the right to make unwise decision. If she wants to stay with Mongo Park and delete herself, that's her choice. Bimbo has made her choice today now. against the mother and the sister's advice. They told her to leave. She didn't leave. So if I have done everything I can do as an egbon, which is what Nigerians call the older person, the older sibling, and you choose to make your own choices, I am not going to hold myself responsible for your choices. You are an adult.
Exactly.
I
And
beg you, live your life.
that's where I am right now. So
Pray for her.
that's all I can do.
Pray for her and live your life. I beg.
I have cut
No,
off
I don't do
numbers.
that anymore.
I have
No,
put that
I
people
did
at
that.
a
I used to carry
distance.
family in my head as you see me. So
No
I was
more.
the second to the last born, but I carry family in my head because I love so much. They know that I'm the one that is the. If my young sister used to tell me, say, now you they carry family for head now. Now you love everybody now because I'm the empath. But today, I do what I can, but I love myself first. Do the same, my dear.
Yes, so Sister B. So
Please don't get
Sister B,
yourself to that place anymore. Engage
thank you
with your
so
treatment.
much.
You have so much. You live in America. What are you troubling yourself for people who want to delete themselves in Nigeria? I beg.
Thank you so much for all
Adding
that you
your mind.
do.
Sometimes you need to borrow from Pharaoh. You see how Pharaoh adding his mind? Adding your mind sometimes. That blocking might not be easy, but it's necessary sometimes. When I bone my sister, when you know what Nigeria call bone, people did not believe it. Eh? You're like sibling. You're like twins. I say, we sibling. I beg you, to your tent, oh Israel.
Oh
Oh
yes.
yeah.
So everybody, bear your papa name. You've chosen this path.
If
I've
I
chosen this
deleted 2 years
path.
ago, when COVID caught me and I deleted, we should be here looking after my children and my husband.
At
No.
all.
People are selfish in nature. They'll prioritize themselves and their family. So why should I should come and delete myself because of you? BB, please.
Thank you, Sister
Look
B.
after
Thank you.
yourself, my darling.
And thank you for all that you do. And thank you for always bringing this home. And Obodo fam, I beg you, please like. It is saving someone's life somewhere.
Let's talk.
Whether you
I
agree
need
or
to talk
not.
to you. My WhatsApp number is changed. They hacked me. Are you on Instagram?
Yes, I am. I do
Send
send
me
you
a message.
something. I send you a message. But I go as
you
color
guys use
Bimbo.
different name everywhere. I cannot cope. So send me a message and say this is BBMJ. I'll give you my new Instagram and my new WhatsApp number. I don't want to share it because all these chinko people they pick it up and they hacked me. So I'm not sharing it
Sister
publicly
B.
again. Send me a message. We need to talk. Okay?
Yes, Sister B.
You're
Thank you.
gonna be
Thank
all
you
right,
so
my
much for
darling.
everybody. Thank you. Enjoy
All
the
right.
rest of the
Thank
show.
you, my darling. God bless you. It is well with you, family. My children need me. My husband. I beg you. Family not today. Lovely David.
Auntie
Hello,
B,
my brother.
I salute.
How about
This,
you?
I told Tango, how family.
I do they like to hear from you.
Eh, the,
Welcome.
the story tire,
Not be smart, no.
you
Family,
know.
dynamics, marriage. Not be today.
Now this BB welcome will make me feel. She said she won't go delete herself. I
Because
say,
of her younger sister issue for Nigeria, marriage issue.
I say, Haba.
No.
Well, if you turn the equation, the sister not gonna do the same now.
For where sister always sit down there, they enjoy Gbola. According to who talk that and say na Gbola. Now if you talk say na Gbola, they enjoy. She dey enjoy Gbola every day. Why you want to delete
Not
yourself?
be more than enjoy, but life is precious.
I beg
So,
you. Who don't like Gbola? You don't see you don't see no like Gbola. Better Gbola. Now you want to delete yourself because of somebody. When you dey chop Gbola every day, me go call delete myself. Me self like Gbola. I beg you.
Anyway, she as you advise her now, she go need therapy, and she go try
Yeah,
to.
she said she don't do therapy now. Why I say no we talk because she's always been very active on this platform. I don't see her for some time, but some people now, how it be now, life now, people go
Yeah,
work, other things.
because as her sister an adult, and if she don't advise, try her best to see if she go remove herself from the situation. If you know work now, she don't do what she
What do you
supposed
want
to
to do?
do.
You cannot hold yourself responsible for other people's actions or decisions.
Because let's say you come out and from the situation, the husband go carry him by force.
If you come out and
Then
say she go use herself, go back. People like Bimbo, they go back. Because now the only thing where they know be that. They go back.
well, and to be, you know what thing that cause all those things. Sometimes I believe so. Before people go marry, they need to undergo therapy. Because sometimes people don't know themselves. The same thing for some men too, because a man where they beat him wife up and down, something there wrong with them now, Because when you get one thing where you talk, say even when the lady they pregnant, the man beat them too.
Oh yeah, 8 months. They do
And
CS for them to come out the picking.
and when you look at all these things, say all this trauma they start from childhood, and some of them they know they think it's a normal thing. When you they sick for head, you go think say you do all right. And that kind of thing where you feel say everything do all right with you, and do all right. And for our side now, for Nigeria, people know they think say therapy is a better thing.
See, you don't see
yeah.
for this as well. You see, they don't give a correct blow.
Because if you check them, both of them, the man self need therapy, Bimbo need therapy.
No,
Because
prison the man need, not be therapy. He need prison. He go get the therapy inside prison.
And TB, if somebody gets something for upstay, where no, say something there wrong. You with the outside they see him say something there. Him himself, he don't know say something there wrong. Not a problem. So and you get some women too, where we say they enjoy the domestic violence, So now why I tell you say some people need therapy. Because you get some people where we say now that kind of environment, now in the sweet them. So it not be funny thing and not be something where anybody they pray. I say Mama tell them from the way, even though say she underage when she married. That kind of love they sweet now. Now that kind of love where we say even if you want to stop them, she no gonna agree. But when you look the bigger picture, you go no say she never know her left and right before she married.
Of course, 15-year-old. Maybe I get my last
But
baby is 15.
yeah,
If I
but
look at now, I go to look and say, what did this one even know? Imagine. No. Thinking critically now, lovely David. Thank you for reminding me. My last baby is 15. If I look at now, imagine make this kind of boy where we say no in left from right like this now. Yesterday I sat for a room. He say he get cold. He can't chook tissue for nose. This one go marry as a be so. Now I tell and say, I beg, why you put tissue for nose? He say he knows they run. Now say now you decide to use tissue blocker. I say, no, say even the tissue when you put inside the nose if they run. I say, come on, I beg you, yeah? Come on. Yeah. He say he knows they run. He never know nothing. What you don't see for life? What you know?
Exactly. And the truth we say the preaching about marriage no be do or die, eh? People need to listen to that part too. Because whether you spend 15 years or 16 years, if we reach situation where we say your life is at stake, where we say say if you buy, nobody deserve by, nobody the man, nobody the woman. So if you reach that stage, make them share garena, make everybody go their way.
Simple. It's simple.
Because at the end of the day, I know waiting people that talk. She not go view uplift herself. She don't lose. She focus all her energy on the man. If now she build the man, God go still find a way. We go make him rise up. So make we not base and say when your life that risk because of the investment when you invest on top of the man, you go say you go die through way there. You know what I'm now.
Thank you, lovely David. I appreciate you, my brother. You do well.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you. Husky voice. People still remember you from the husky voice. Now say just the talk. Since when did they call this show? His voice never changed one day. He's a very chilled person. You can tell. Lovely guy. Thank you so much, lovely David. Choma Mama is saying that my own contribution is parents. We got work to do. Someone is raising badly behaved individuals. Yeah. You can say that again. And Smooth as Silk said, the burden of responsibility put on us by parents for siblings can be overwhelming. And it's not fair. It can sometimes cause trauma on older siblings. It took me a long time to choose myself first. You are so right, Smooth as Silk. I can't put it any way better. Our parents put a lot of burden on us. Some of this burden they put on us, they practically make us parents before we are parents. Look after your younger one. Look after the younger. If my younger one doesn't want looking after uncle, what am I supposed to do? I can't control them. Oh my Escana, we are ending, my darling. Welcome. How are you?
I bam throw away. This
Welcome.
story. Oh, you dey hear me? I hope I'm
I
clear.
didn't hear you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Greetings, Sister B. How you there? I see your video. Hey,
Which one?
Pemperempe, Chiquito, that blue dress on you wear, I bet save am. I no fit shout.
All the things I
Save
don't
am,
say
save
for
am,
you. I
save
never
am.
see you for London.
I go soon come, just dey save them. Hey,
Anyone
I
want you
lose
to
the
say
picture.
saver.
Save am. You just no ask you. Wait now, ma fit reach that London. People go know say I don arrive.
I bet
No, you
come,
know,
come,
tell
come,
them
come.
say when
No
I
run.
come, I go just first run through that wardrobe. So if I not see that blue dress, we go quarrel.
No
Hey,
wahala. You dey
he
there.
Osalobo, I see beauty. I go load the video again. Say wow,
Really? That's why I
he
look
see
out for there.
you be like hot cake. Oh, you sure? I sure say they go they hit on you. They no say you don't marry like this. You
Nobody
see
dey
as you
hit on you.
set. Ooh, they fear now because you they
I'm a
assertive. You know
50-year-old. I don't
the
old.
way you
And they
take
are
they talk, now your mind you take they talk that one now.
Oh
You
my
know say you be
God.
pemperempe, correct
Oh
Chiquito.
my
That blue
God.
dress, it makes sense.
Thank
It
you.
makes sense. I beg they wear every. If you say it fit you, did you
I
take
don't
a
even see
picture?
somebody to video me make I for
Oh
turn
my
around.
God.
I don't see
I
person will
beg
video
do
me.
picture, don't turn around. You say now one Z, Abi? No, be so you talk only one,
I said
Abi?
na
One.
jumpsuit. It's a jumpsuit.
Oh, it's beautiful. I gotta
Thank
buy one.
you.
I gotta take that or buy mine, man. Shoo. I
Thank
dey
you.
collect, oh. Sister B. Okay. But now to the topic at hand. You see wetin if he don't talk, if he don't fair come, scatter all the roof, everything, blow everything away. Use hose, take hose every corner come out. If he talk everything. You see wetin I see for this matter be this. Now pidgin I go speak. I no fit speak English today, I beg. See, we need to, as human being, I know, and I think somebody else came and said whether it was one of your, I don't know, Trauma be her name when she talks, say,
Oh yeah,
you know,
Chama. Yeah, she's my friend in Nigeria. Yeah.
oh my God,
Actually, she knows Bimbo.
okay, oh
Yeah,
my
she said
God,
she knows Bimbo personally, but she never knew that she was going through this. You see how
oh
they are
my
secretive.
God.
You say she was telling me that they talk about parenting and things like that because she's a parenting coach,
Mm-hmm.
but she never knew that she was going through this in her marriage.
Imagine, you see, this is how they hide things in Nigeria. You know, waiting, I don't know. Nigeria prop situation is unique in and of itself. The reason why I say that is based on what is on ground in Nigeria, from the top to the bottom, everybody, it seems like everybody's working on top of their heads in Nigeria. And I'm not generalizing, but I don't have a choice but to generalize as I'm making this comment. With the situation on ground in Nigeria, it's very difficult for people to find true authenticity in themselves because you have a society that does not value women, does not value children. Even when a man is married to a woman, to them, marriage is the ultimate. So you're nothing without a marriage. You are not worthy to be around people when you're not married, right? Even when you want to go and rent a house, you can't rent alone. You have to be married. You have to have somebody standing in for you. You have to be spoken for. Even when you go
Oh
to
yeah.
certain restaurants, when you go to certain clubs in Nigeria, you
Oh yeah.
won't be
They won't
allowed
let you
in.
in, no.
They
They won't
won't
let
let
you
you
in.
in because you're unaccompanied. Because if you come in, the assumption is that you are an ashi. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So when you put all these things together in the society in Nigeria, it becomes difficult for you to tell somebody, chill, marriage will happen in its time.
Yeah.
Because if whether they like it or not, they themselves will even find themselves putting unnecessary pressure on themselves. They go just they pressure themselves, not because they really want to, but because of the society. They not
Society.
feel
Yeah.
it's almost
And
like they are
society.
constricted, they are in
Oh,
bondage.
society
They
is not
can't
funny. Did you see that video of carrying
exactly.
me to go my husband's house? Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it with all those girls dressed in wedding gown. That is the
Oh yes.
typical, that is it. You understand? So so saying all of this, I think I'm also leveraging on what Chema said earlier. When you thing when no matter how much you say it, these people, until they see value and the society gives them the freedom to express themselves authentically, right? Without being afraid of being judged that, oh, you are not yet married. Oh, you have reached this stage, you are not yet married. Oh, no matter what you accomplish, you are nothing without a man. Until that stigma begins to fizzle out, until they start holding people accountable for the crimes they commit, because it's almost like if you not marry, problem. You marry, problem. Because when you marry, because a lot of people rush into the marriage because of waiting society, family, friends,
Just to
everybody go talk,
rest, make them
just
rest, make
to
them stop to the
rest.
bully them.
Exactly. Imagine those friends, now human beings, Mongo Park friends. When they say, we love you. What kind of rubbish love is that? You understand what I'm saying? So when you have a society that is decadent from the top to the bottom, it's very difficult. People will be making wrong decisions.
Because you
They
have
will
to
be
conform to the society
because
that
they
you
have
live
to
in.
conform. Thank you. In order not to be couched as ashy, they will
Outcasts.
run outcasts, because they are very quick to say ashy, now ashy or runs babe, or if you're doing very well, they'll say, now one man, they bankroll them, now one this one, now one. They must find something to tie you to, and it's always with a man. Until that identity, until we start to have reasonable, common sense leadership that will come and arrange people's brain in Nigeria, it's going to continue. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. It will. Because not be you just tell me now, so they talk this story, nah, person just send you message, say it one, another one just they happen.
Oh, yes. So.
That are the one when you hear, there are the ones that we don't hear.
Oh,
So to those women, all of us, when we did this channel, when we did talk and they exchange all these ideas together, they share experience. Wetin I want talk be say, understand, say you are first of all a spirit. Spirit, no way you know whether you be neither man or woman. The body when you dey wear na cloth, na house. Okay. Now, as participant in this society that we are in, you have a role to play. I don't even want to even go to purpose. But you guys understand what I'm saying. It's a purpose. There's an identity. There's something you ought to be doing. If marriage is written into that whole story, it will happen naturally. You don't need to force it. If you are forcing it, then that means that God is not in it in the first place. Anything you force, right, that's not happening for you organically, there's already a problem. So
somebody
if you are
said that
busy,
if she had left, society would judge her.
thank you.
Esty said the
So you
same
see,
society is criticizing her now for not leaving. How can a woman win in a society like that?
It's difficult. That's what I'm saying. It's very difficult. So it's going to require a lot of hard work from the ground up, telling women you are worth it. You are more than what you can do everything. You can achieve. You want to ride Mercedes-Benz. You want to ride Range Rover. You want to ride Maserati. You can save money and buy. You can even be renting and be driving a Maserati, as long as you can pay the monthly what's it called, rental fees or payment fees. You can. There are people who are renting and living below their means so they can buy expensive cars. But
That space said I have to sell my car in Nigeria because people said that. That is
why
why
I don't have
a husband.
Yes.
So much for societal pressure. You too, you bow to societal pressure. I bought my first car before I got married. Me.
But my
I'm
sister,
very
get where they
struggling,
reach. I not blame
nobody
her,
came make
Jaya.
me sell my car. They said it about me too. Even though that I wasn't even 30 then.
Oh.
They were saying things. You say you are driving car. You want to do professional woman. Where's your husband? I say, I beg you. You know, like car. Me, I like to stay for bus stop, make son, they beat me every day. Even my boyfriend said, I beg, enter car, me will go.
The boyfriend will even call they drive the car self.
Yeah.
They flange you. Now so now.
Oh my
I'm telling you,
God.
I've been told that too. When I moved back to Nigeria temporarily, I was driving a car and one lady told me, said, my sister, You're driving a car, a man will be intimidated. Oh, if I were you, I would sell this car, I'll be taking bus. I laugh inside my mind. I say,
Me,
no
you know
go
how hot Nigerian
Lagos.
sun is. Me, I get car with air conditioning.
With AC.
He bring
Exactly.
I bring my car matter. We'll talk and briefly. I went him for
Exactly.
3 hours. My first car was a Toyota. No, not Toyota. Honda Prelude. You know Honda Prelude? Now
Yes, I
one flat
remember
car
on
like that.
that
The
point.
car is fast.
Yes.
That was my first car. I
Yes.
never married about that car. I love the car. Car will
I
let me
know.
achieve by myself as a single girl. I never married. Eh? So somebody go tell me, say, I said the car, man, I go stay for bus stop. They look for bus to go walk in the morning. You know how hot Nigeria at 7 a.m. Nigeria is
Girl.
freaking hot. I can't stay for
Are
some
you
based on they
kidding
beat
me?
me. Because say make I not drive now how did they talk on that time? They say you go drive men away, they no go like you because you get car. If they don't get
Yes,
car,
they
may
go
they not
dey
drive you away.
intimidated.
Now somebody will
Yes,
get
may you not.
poverty mentality. Now I go drive you. I don't need people like that in my life.
Exactly. But there are a lot of people who don't know this though. There are currently young people in Nigeria who don't know this. Now I know say everywhere don't scatter. Girls they ride big cars, a small girl, big girl, things are happening and all of that.
Bio,
But
sorry, Beyonce, how many does it? Now only 2 does it get to.
now let two doors
Toyota
prelude
Prelude.
get. Now two doors
Only
get.
2
Very
does it get,
fast
but that
car.
car is very
I know the
fast.
car.
It be a
Yes.
Ferrari. Very fast.
Exactly. It dey
I take that
run.
car, carry that boyfriend of that time when no gree marry me. I can't go bring you. My mama look the car, say her. This one I marry, this I don't get. You go sell it, collect change.
When yeah, they shine.
The mama
I
come
know.
and say this girl, no, it's too here. You no get car. My girlfriend will take car, bring you. Say, me no marry me.
Now so now so yeah, mother-in-laws, yeah, they go talk, they'll tell their sons, yeah, absolutely, it dey happen.
Oh
Sister
my
B,
God.
see, at the end of the day, this life is sweet if you decide say you want make it sweet for you. Marriage will happen if it's meant to happen. If it not meant to happen, you force yourself. Now bulala you go chop. It's just a fact. Anything one person force himself into because of society, because guess what? Nobody go follow you there inside the when you dey chop the cake. Nobody. Now only sorry they go they tell you. Sorry. So to thine own self be true, according to Shakespeare. Learn yourself, fall in love with yourself, send yourself flowers. I dey send myself flowers, or sometimes I just sit down, I'll
Oh
go market,
yes,
I'll just see red
there's
flower.
nothing
I go
wrong with
just
that. No.
order.
Oh no, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing, you go set your place, go the scent, place they cozy for you,
You don't need somebody to
enjoy.
give you flower. Even
You
if there
don't
is
need,
marriage, I
you
give
don't
myself
need it.
flowers. Yes. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong in it.
Take care of yourself, get a massage, go for a spa, go for a drive if that's what you like to do. Sometimes I drive myself to LA because I enjoy driving. Sometimes I'll just get on the road on the weekend and just drive and come back maybe a day after or something like that. Check myself into a hotel if I don't want to be bothered by my sister. So there are so many things you can do for yourself. If it's going to happen, trust me, people, it will happen. You don't fall. This is one thing I've come to know. You never force anything that is meant for you. You never force it. It happens organically without
So
you
this one that
making the
refused to
effort.
leave Uncle, even when the thing
Nine,
was going
and
to delete
nine,
her.
na him wan stay there, and the mentality again, because the mentality in Nigeria is another problem. Mentality about marriage, mentality about single life, married life. People go, they tell us stay there, na husband name, na him get this thing power. When you dey husband house, people go respect you. You be hearing all of that over and over again. And you are surrounded by people like that. How you want to think for yourself? Even when you want to, they go say you stubborn. They'll come, they look for woli. When you come, they pray for you. They do night vigil. I not be Nigeria, So it's a pity that what happened to her happened. I'm praying that she survives it. She gets out of there stronger, and she hopefully realizes who she is and realize that herself, she being alive, is more important than being in a man's house who does not value her. And to BBMJ, my sister, your story broke my heart because I did a live yesterday and she was very active on the live. We talked and all that. I'm so sorry about what you shared with us, but please, BB, we love you. It will hurt me to my core to hear anything negative about you. Put you first. Your sister is an adult. She's made her
Do you have a
decision.
number?
Leave you. I don't have her number. She will only communicate on IG. I'm going to ask
Exchange
for her
numbers
phone
and talk
number
now. You
now.
don't live in America, yeah. Exchange your numbers so you can talk to
I'm
her.
gonna get her number so I can talk to her. Cause BBMJ is a
Vivi,
sister.
please, yeah, reach out to her here on
Please, I
Instagram. Send her
beg.
your number and send me your number
Yeah,
too. Me, I need to talk to you because I don't like
yeah.
woman hearing. I don't
At
like it. No, no, no,
all,
no. You
at
don't
all.
need
It
that.
break my
For
heart,
what?
BB.
You
Hey,
are
you
not
know
Jesus,
what I'm
oh.
on.
Even Jesus
At
that
all,
died for the
oh.
world safety today, did they
Hmm.
bury him? I beg you.
Oh, my
Don't
sister,
have that
not today.
mentality where you are going to
Mentality.
save anybody. No.
Mm-mm.
Jesus don't
Mm-mm.
already, he don't
You
die
don't
to save
already
people.
do
We just
you.
believe. Make I read this
Exactly.
one as we end.
Uh-huh.
Grace
Yes.
will say, we were talking about Kaaba. Mokuna no make
Mm.
me. If I tell you now my stories, una go laugh tire. Honestly.
Mm.
I get very funny stories. Before marriage. Ninja. Hey,
Ah,
I
not
understand
today.
Ninja. Not be today, oh. Not be today. Grace Favor said, that advice, we're talking about car, but I say my first car was a Honda Prelude. Me, go stay for some when I can afford a car. I go buy my car. They tell me to sell and say, Mokuna F off. I don't like sun. I like soft life from beginning. I say, no, if you don't want to marry me, you get poverty mentality if not a problem. You understand? So Grace Favor say, that advice has been for ages. That's why I could not purchase plots of land when I was single with my hard-earned
Wow.
money, because no man will want to marry me with land. Abi, if you have a land
Hey,
as a single woman, no one will marry you in
hey.
Nigeria. I saved my money and the Mango Park spent it.
Now, when you know you
Sorry,
do something with
I'm so
money when
sorry,
you
Grace
get
Favor, but it's funny because they told you not to enjoy yourself. You save money for Mango Park that didn't deserve you to come and spend it. Oh my child.
now
Our
because you
women
not
are still
spend that.
doing it today.
Yes, you know.
Today.
Yes, so it's going to take a lot until leadership changes, until people start to learn the right way. It's going to continue. Unfortunately, we're going to keep hearing these stories because there needs to be a mass retraining of the mind, the way people see themselves in Nigeria, the way they view themselves, the way they appreciate themselves.
Allah, no wonder TB, that's the connection. My first car was 1988 Honda Prelude.
All the 100 prelude people on the table.
I love that Honda Prelude so much. That's the best car I've ever owned. I love that. You know what? Because I bought it with my sweat as a single girl in Nigeria. And I'm talking of
That's
Nigeria before this era that we are in now. You imagine how it
uh-huh.
was. I'm talking about how long ago was it, Sef? I can't even remember which is with 2000. Why am I saying 2000? The way they were looking at me, having your own flat, you have a car. Who will marry this one? They
The
said
biggest flex.
they gossip me so they say, the kind of suit she's wearing, this one, she they do strong woman, no. Who will marry this one? Nobody go green marry her and say,
Exactly.
anybody when no fit stand as I be so now swag be. I don't want swag
Hey.
be.
Hmm.
I don't want swag be. Me na Paco. I want Paco.
Sister Bio, I beg. See, waiting my family tell me that because they ask questions. That's just my nature. My papa want introduce me to man. He say, okay, he carry me enter room. He say, Omoye. He call me like 3 times. He say, don't ask him any questions. I say, wait, am I just supposed to say nod my head? What is that? I say, don't ask me. I say, okay. Then the guy call. I use question, move question back, Jenny. Money, my papa they look me, he was shocked. He's like, look at this girl. I said, don't ask questions.
After all the advice, you don't listen. Gigi had plenty Honda lovers are here. Mine was Honda
On the table, all ye Honda lovers, raise your hand in the comment section. Oh yeah, Egbori Wale,
Honda is not a
Honda
very
people.
popular car in the UK, but I love Honda. Those cars are so easy to drive. With
They
one
are
hand,
strong,
you can spin the steering like this.
durable.
You can spin the steering like this. Very nice car, Honda. I
Yes,
love that car.
yes. Hondas are the best too. Hondas, Toyotas,
I
are
love
very
that.
durable cars,
If you
man.
go to northern Nigeria, Honda is very popular. Hausa people love Honda cars. The latest Honda, you see it in Kano, Kaduna, and all those places. Very nice car.
Yes. Yeah,
Anyway.
because they're durable too and they last a long
Oh,
time.
they are
It's
very
easy to
good, very, very
maintain.
easy
Yeah.
maintenance and everything.
Easy
So
maintenance. Gas
when the
mileage,
mother said,
perfect.
the mother of
Mm.
that my boyfriend of that year said,
Uh-huh.
he said this one has car. And you know something, when the same kid out, I don't know when he graduated the same year with me or before, but we were in the same kid in the civil service. I was working in the civil service and all that. And he was like, this one. He said, no, you can't marry her. And the guy was in love, so he took on tell me, say, Mama talk, say, he don't go fit marry me. I say, see, Mama talk, say, happen when you fit marry me. And you know
Uh-huh.
what? The guy, and that's how I know how powerful mothers can be with their children, especially
Mm.
sons. Mothers
Yeah.
are very powerful. He took only one whisper in his ears from his mother to tell him that you can't marry this girl. She's an Edo girl.
Yes.
She said, I don't understand English. And how will they communicate? Guess what? The mother told him to marry somebody from that place. He's a thief person, thief. TIV. That's what they call their
TIV,
tribe.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they have thief
Yes.
and Idoma and all the other tribes. But that was the biggest mistake he ever made.
Yes, now so they say they
Because
throw away better thing now.
we
Now
are
so
talking about years later now, and he's living in regrets. So sometimes, no matter how much your parents love you,
they
you know
not feel
what you
love
want
you
for yourself.
pass.
Yeah, you know what you
Exactly.
want for yourself. Now because of Honda, I make them not marry me that year.
On that prelude.
Now prelude, that make them not marry me.
Who lose now? Who lose? That
You see the
Honda
funny thing
prelude
is that
supposed tell
my
and
mama got
say,
the time. My mother met this guy because my mother used to come
uh-huh,
and see. My mother came to Abuja and saw me. Say, hey, this
uh-huh.
boy. And the kind of love we do, endless love. Love, they
That's
shack
so
us.
now.
Mama
Young
said, this boy no go
love.
marry you. You see this boy no go marry. I said, Mommy, you know to talk like this again. I love this boy because you see this boy no go marry you. I said, why you dey talk like this now? You supposed to pray. He said no go marry you. And true, it came to pass.
Yeah, because mothers they see waiting you not fit see. No, not true. And you know waiting that guy not understand. And the guy not even be your own. That's just a fact. But the point be there for those when they open to learn. When you see someone who's successful like that, I remember there was a guy I was dating in college then. This guy tell me say in dream see me they drive Passat, new Passat. Inside in dream. Because of that, we know if you continue. Okay, Lobaton. Many years later, I started working in a law firm in Marina, right? In Lagos. The guy had no job, right? He had graduated, no work. When they found out where my office was, he came. When I saw this guy, I could not believe. I don't believe I date the guy. I couldn't doubt. I said, wait a minute. What did I see in the first place? This guy looked
That's all now.
raggedy.
That's all
You
now.
understand? They just throw, if you
If
see
you
the
want to
guy
do,
now,
if you want to do true backstories,
oh my
if you want to do
God.
true backstory, until a very few years ago, I could see what's happened to the guy that I'm talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
Every day of my life, I thank God. You know, I always say
I'm
it on this show that my mama make me marry my husband. Yeah.
Yes.
I always say it on this platform. I so thank God Almighty for not letting me marry that guy. I for chop rubber.
Serious
I for cut that meat.
sufferation.
I for chop. I for chop.
Bulala.
I for chop. Very lovely guy, but
Not be your own.
it not be my
When
own.
no be
That's
your
where
own, another suffer, another suffer, hot and cold. But at the end of the day, all of us we get something to learn. To thine own self be true. Know yourself, know what you want. Don't let anybody rush you. This life, na soft life. Me, soft life for the way. If it too
y'all no
hard,
go
I know they
pass
stress.
you. You know go pass you.
Lie. If it be saying it dey written o say yes na like this your life go be, you go meet so and so person and na go get very scrumptious relationship, e go happen. But if no be so, you go dey force am, you come dey invite unnecessary trauma, unnecessary problem into your life on top of what? On top of human being, when to if you see another person wey pass you, go when get the one wey pass Honda Prelude, the newest brand of Honda Prelude, e go leave you because e dey look for Honda Prelude, e be dey look for.
But
As
you
you
know,
no come
funny
get the
thing, when I
Honda
meet
Prelude again.
Jaguar, you know, even myself, I get, even though you get car self, now me, they use the Honda Prelude, they carry up and down self, you know, you go even say, breathe, drive. I want you to drive. You go relax. Even till today, anywhere we they go, you go say, Brie, you too strong. How can you drive like this? If we they travel anywhere, I mean, I go drive. If we they travel, say we they go airport, you go say, man, drive. You go relax. You go begin this not safe. I go say, why you they not be you supposed drive? Go say drive. You know you like driving, drive. You know get any problem, say
Right.
one thing. I beg you.
All
Thank
the
you.
all
People.
my sister, we
It's
thank God.
well.
This was a great show. Thank you very much for all that you do. You know, say our love, na special love. Kò lè yé
I
wọn,
know,
Obodo
darling.
farm.
Thank you.
All right then.
Thank
Later.
you so much, my darling. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate you, my Eskona. God bless you, darling. Yeah, we've done 3 hours today. Oh, it's been a while since we did these 3 hours. The points, the lessons, I know we talked all around in circles about this. We talked about, all this so-called Romeo and Juliet love, ignoring parental advice sometimes when even the advice is right, and staying to prove a point in very toxic marriages. I know we've gone round in circles, but it's all relevant. What is love? I'm going to leave you with that tonight. As I'm recapping now, I'm challenging you people that are not married or that divorced, separated, whatever your circumstances. If you are looking for that person, what is love? What does love mean to you? Love is not a butterfly zoo. I strongly recommend Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo again. Pastor Shola, if you're a Christian, please follow those channels on YouTube because me, self, I don't know reach them. I'm learning myself. I watch those pastors every day. If Pastor K drop video, now me the first watch them. What is love? It's not an action word. Pastor K actually said that the Bible never told you to marry someone you love. It just said marry the person you love. You need to love them. If you marry somebody, then you need to love them. Women, especially, I'm challenging you tonight. What does love mean to you? Somebody they slap you, say it's love. Somebody you sacrifice your whole life because you are Messiah to build somebody else, and you ignore your own existence. You ignore your own education, your career, and everything. This is how it ends, oh. And I mean, when you've got nothing to bring in the table, at the point, even though you are doing Romeo and Juliet love, the man will get bored. I'm not talking about Ikechukwu now because we know that Ike has serious anger management issues. And this was confirmed by somebody who grew up with him and knows him back in Surulere, Lagos, Nigeria. He will get bored. You got nothing to bring. You got no value. Because all your life, you are busy building another person. Build yourself, know yourself, be yourself, love yourself, value yourself. Then you can be healthy enough to go into a marriage. All this codependency marriage is so, they end well. Because the reason why you are codependent with that person is because you cannot survive without them. You see yourself in them that without them, you are nothing. As a woman, please know yourself. Let us raise daughters who can stand by themselves, marriage or no marriage. Marriage is a blessing. When you marry the right person, it's not an achievement, it's not a career, it's not a project. Stand on your own. If that person comes, you can build together, but you're already standing. So if anything happens along the way, God forbid, if it happens, you can still stand because you're already standing even before you go into it. And the mother that raised you, or the parents that raised you have a lot to do with why children are like this. I always give all the accolades to my mother because she's responsible for the woman I am today. Because she was a strong woman. She stood by herself. She was already standing when she married my dad. Even after my dad went to be with the Lord very early. But she was still standing. Imagine if she couldn't stand when my dad. What would have happened to me? I would not have been able to go to school because my mother would not have been able to pay her fees. Marriage is beautiful. I love marriage. I love love. I love romance. I love all of it. But you are already a human being. Love yourself first. The first person you can love is yourself before you can love another person holistically. Any kind of love that you don't love yourself and you are loving another person is not love. That one is not love. Oh. So I'm just going to end by saying that I'm praying that Bimbo survives this. Ikechukwu, wherever you are on the face of this earth, I hope you can look back and reflect and see the damage that you've caused. 19 years, this small girl, 15 years you started. She knew nothing. You are all she knows. I hope you can look back and really look deeply. Without your Mercedes and your Brabos and all the cars and all the money you think you have. You have got children with this woman. Imagine what their life is going to become. Who is going to look after them? And here you've jackpot now. Let's do better, my people. Because we're not only doing it for ourselves, for our spouses, we are doing it for our children. We're doing it for our children. May God help us. Thank you so much, everyone. If you've enjoyed our conversation tonight, please give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate you, all the people that called into the show. May God help us. Parents, I'm going to leave you with this. Teach your daughters not to put their dreams, goals, and aspirations on hold because of bola, because of love, because of marriage. You get why, oh? You get why. Thank you so much, everyone. Please like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate you guys. Keep the lights going. Yeah, please keep the lights going. Thank you. God bless you. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you soon. Bye.